welcome to Keeping in Character. I'm Sam, I'm your DM, and we skipped a week, so that's the thing. But last week, or the week before, the party ended up finding Shkaba in a barrel, freed him, went out to go find the priestess in Holly Grove, found a little town called Acorns, convinced a surly dwarf fellow to... Well, no, I guess he convinced them to help in a holy quest of his to, more or less, a holy quest to get into this tomb where on Druid land. Weirdly enough, Sunny was able to convince them with very little effort because she could talk to trees.
It's my charm.
Yep. It fought some scorpions, and then were rewarded with 4 massive barrels of an absinthe-like booze.
Yeah, we
It's
were.
been here for longer than the druids have been here.
Fancy drink.
All right. Now, where we left off there, I know we had Sunny. You were over in the ruined portion of the area. You kind of snuck through and were hidden along inside of part of the rubble and in some of these tomb rooms that no one else had access to.
Yeah.
The rest of you were hauling, or I guess it was Rybos and to a lesser extent Jayrmi, hauling the barrels out of that room with the help of Gilgamesh, who is in his cups. It's like 10 a.m. You know,
He's been doing a lot of praying
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Yes.
So, but he is he's starting to write up more or less a writ of ownership for you guys for these things, just so no
Okay.
one thinks that you stole it.
So I have official moves in the unofficial flask that I
The only
stole?
person that I don't know, so Shkaba, what are you doing while Sunny is crawling around in the rubble?
I'm making sure she doesn't die. Making sure she
Okay.
comes back.
Still there?
Yeah.
All right. So
Everything
Shkaba
going
is
okay?
poking his head around.
Okay.
looking through.
She's okay.
Sunny, you end up finding while in your search, in part of the hallway,
This is the first tunnel that was off, right?
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
down
first
the
door.
just
It
clarifying.
was almost like the first left-hand turn
Yeah.
that you guys went and double-backed to.
Okay. On
So
it.
in there, you find as you're floating around, you land on the ground, you hear a scraping of metal. You don't have dark vision, do you?
Oh God, no.
So it is pitch black almost.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Very dark. So as you're searching around, you're just stumbling in the dark. But yes, there's a scraping of metal on stone, and it seems to be some sort of plate of metal next to your feet.
Do I hear that? Can I hear it through the rubble?
Yeah, just like a noise.
If
like
I
metal on
hold the
stone.
torch close to the rubble, does it give off enough light through the cracks?
Go ahead and give me a perception check to try and figure out what in the world
What-
this thing is.
What can I? What can I create with my druid craft? Can I create like a glowing plant
I
to illuminate
don't
something?
think so.
You
That'd
sure?
be cool. Pull out some glowing
Maybe.
mushrooms.
We'll find out.
Well, because I have my fancy flower book, so we
Right.
could say that like
Right.
some of them illuminate, and I would be
Okay.
able to.
I don't see why.
That doesn't.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
My perception is, while you're doing that, 9. So come on, glowy plant.
I feel like you could make something that has a very low glow to it. So if you held it directly up to something, you could see it.
Okay.
But it would be like a
It'd be like a lighter or like a match.
yeah, that kind of thing. Not quite torch, but it's just this little, like not even a candle's flame kind of thing.
little chemical light.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
glow
yeah.
stick.
When they're starting to burn
I
out.
don't know.
Bingo.
Those
Yep. And then you're like,
right.
oh, okay.
You're right. You're right.
So you look at
They
that,
all
and
glow
it is a heavily oxidized copper plate.
Oh.
Yep.
Like I've kicked it around. It wasn't moving on its own.
No, yeah, you touched it, and you
Oh,
know
okay.
that you moved it. It's not like it's a scorpion.
Oh, okay. Armor scorpion. I was like, just gonna like this. Just
Everything
remembering the
can be
metal dudes with ooze on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Whole thing.
that's where my head went. I pick it up and investigate it.
It
All
falls
right.
on you.
So when you lift this thing up, you recognize the weight of it, if that makes sense. You have a similar item in your equipment.
Hot dog.
I do.
Yeah,
Copper hot dog?
yes you do.
Yeah.
But as you're kind of, turning it around, what have you, what is the druid craft that you made?
have no idea.
You made a thing with it, so you
Yeah.
glowed with the druid.
Yeah.
What'd you make?
Glowing moss,
Gotcha.
we'll say.
It's just
Yeah, it's just like a
glowing moss,
little
just-
over my hand.
There you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
just puddle of luminescent moss.
I like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, so you're just kind of like almost rubbing that onto the thing.
Okay.
looking at it, and it's yeah, it appears to be almost like a scale. Yeah, there you go.
Oh!
That's the recognition I was looking for.
Do fairies get goosebumps? Because she has goosebumps.
That's up to
Do
you.
they?
Yeah.
I like look at the plate and look at the hole. I'm like, okay, I can get back through there. I'm going to like take the moss and kind of like,
Goodness.
I know, like punching
just
every
stay
one of
there.
these boulders out of this wall. I'm going to continue to kind of like look around with like the little bit of moss that I have.
Sure.
So I don't know if you want me to perception with disadvantage or.
Yes, actually.
Okay. Whew. Oh, disadvantage sucks.
You got
I
it.
see nothing.
Gotcha.
It's a 2,
Yeah,
so.
there you go. You're very excited about the situation, but this does not seem like a place that this would be at.
Okay. I am going to go back out to Shkaba.
Sure.
Look at it!
So all you see is a piece of copper that has been heavily oxidized with, so it's like greened over
Yeah.
kind of thing. And think like there's little bits of where you can see the copper underneath, but it's mostly green.
Okay.
So when you see that
It's just like
poking
shivvy
out,
into the.
yep. And
Look
then
at it,
Sunny's
it's
just
so pretty!
holding it over.
And I like take it and I give it a big hug. I'm like, oh, I have to see if there's more in there. Can you help me move some of these boulders?
What is it?
When you end up looking, or when you hugged it and then pulled it away from you and looked at it, you see there are some markings on the other side of it. It is a series of almost like if you took a leather punch and
Yeah.
put a almost like a dent
Yeah.
into bits of it, and then some scratched lines through it, like if somebody drug a knife or a file across the thing between each of the dots in a geometric shape that you do not recognize.
Okay, so I can't read any of this.
No, yeah, there's nothing to read. It's,
Okay.
it's just a
Like body count?
no.
Okay.
Almost make an investigation.
It's gonna be an interesting day, guys. So that's 8.
8. Looking at it, you're like, this has got to be a letter. And you're turning it around, you know. So for Sunny, Faye don't really write things down. So the only way you learned to read, write, and stuff like that was because of mortals. So
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, this is a letter. This is clearly, I just don't know what it means.
What does this say? Can you read this to me?
And it's just like a series of triangles and like squares and all interconnected onto each other with different offshoots.
I'm
Go
gonna.
ahead and make an investigation as well.
All right, I'm gonna like set it down on the floor and just kind of like just like pace back and forth.
Like a modern art piece, you just walk around in a circle.
And I am like in it with him.
There you go. Yeah, nice. So you guys come up, Ramos carrying a barrel, and then Jayrmi dragging a barrel, and see them standing around a plate on the ground, hemming and hawing over it.
Can I pull the one that I have out to see if there's any markings on that, or
So
would I just know?
You take down, so you didn't actually, there are no markings on the other one.
Okay.
Jayrmi, what
But
the
if you
hell are
want
they
to pull that
doing?
out, you could.
Okay.
Not helping us move these big, heavy barrels.
I know.
I can tell you that.
Were you already drinking?
Well, yeah.
We've all had a lot of prayer today.
What did you get on that investigation there?
I got 12.
Well, it could be a constellation.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure. Yeah, it's not something that you recognize, but it's definitely not a letter.
Really silly question for you to ask. You literally handed me the flask.
Ah, yes.
So, we need to move these rocks so I can look in this room.
We also
I
need to
like point very
carry these
obviously
barrels.
to the large barrel on my shoulder.
Good, so you'll be
I'm
able to lift
already
them.
carrying something.
Well, set that one
And it
down.
is also something that you're not entirely sure what he's got. It looks like a barrel of booze, but this is more important. But yeah,
More important than booze.
but nobody said that.
Yeah, just for a minute. They're not going anywhere. Help me move these rocks, please.
Help set the
And
barrel down.
To be fair, Sonny also had been told not to drink anything here because it was holy stuff. So,
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, but it's
What rocks do you need moved? That entire pile?
One
We
at a
don't
time.
have all day. We have to get
Well,
back
just
to the
like-
city.
I agree with
just
Ribos.
big enough so I can I see your torch for a minute?
you guys will have just over 24 hours after you get back, I believe, if I did the math right.
Torch? Please?
Why?
Just yes or no?
She found this
Just under,
thing
actually,
in there.
58
It's
hours.
got these stars on it or something. She wants to go see if there's more of it.
Are you still carrying the torch that you had?
Just about.
He has his torch already going.
But he's trying to read. Can I have yours, please?
I don't have one out
Trying
and
to
ready.
read.
It's
Trying
in my
to read
backpack.
what? What do you have over there?
It's on the floor here. They
It's right in the center of the floor. It's
I'm gonna
couple
take his torch
pieces
and try
of
to go
it.
back in the
Oh,
hole with the
there you
the
torch.
plate is about yay big or so. It almost looks like it could fit onto a small person's breastplate. If that makes sense. But it appears to be an organic made thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it was hammered into the shape. It looks like a lizard scale of some sort.
So
Or-
copper colored, not copper material.
No, copper material.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the weirdness of it being organically looking, but then it's clearly
material.
made out of copper.
I will walk over to the pile of rubble and just start tossing boulders.
All
One
right.
side, the other side.
Oh,
Can you give
okay,
me
but
an athletics
wait.
check?
Hold on, I still need the torch.
Shkaba, come with me. I want to look at this over here, away from flying rocks.
So can I have your
That's a
torch
good
then?
idea.
I don't have the torch.
Doesn't have the torch. I gave you the
Right,
torch.
it's
Oh,
taking
thank
you a
you.
little
Take this
longer
one.
than you would have liked, but it's you'll make progress. It just
I don't even
you're
have
like,
torches.
So like as he's doing
just
this,
trying to pull a rock away, that kind of thing.
I'm still gonna try to like scamper back through, but since I have the torch this time, it should shrink with me, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to like drag it behind
Yeah.
you. You just go ahead and make an acrobatics to try and not burn yourself while you're doing this.
Solid.
This would be like squeezing through an area.
Wow. Acrobatics, you said?
Yes.
14.
14. So you're able to make it through without burning yourself. It's a close call. You have to like cover part of your hand and then squeeze it through. But, yeah.
Fail. Okay, great. I'd like to investigate the room.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
God
Do it.
damn it. 10.
You're very excited about this
I
find.
know, I just can't roll fucking over.
But it doesn't look like there's anything in here that is any relation to what you're kind of looking for. It looks
Okay.
like everything else here is supposed to be here.
Okay, no
and
indication. Well,
There are some other places you're able to kind of look through and squeeze in part way, but then have to come back out. And it looks like there's not much past. You can tell that there's more rooms past here, but they're all collapsed inward. And this
Okay.
one just happened to be a pocket of non-destroyed thing that you can get into a room. Like there's a splintered door to your side that it was kind of crushed onto, but the arch of that door is still there, which is the only reason that this space exists.
I'm gonna take my flask out and take a big drink. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
While Sunny is in there, Shkaba came a little bit out with me while Ribos is tossing rocks. So I was like, come over here. And I'm
you
going
leaving the area
just
or
outside of
inside?
throwing
Got it.
range, pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to take a closer look at the script on the copper. Any kind of elvish, goblin, halfling, or in knowing my book, not that what it says, but that kind of
Right. I see
origin.
what you're saying. You're kind of comparing. So it doesn't appear to be a language that you understand. And go ahead and make the scribes check thing with
Okay.
intelligence
Intelligence.
and your proficiency bonus.
Got it.
I'm just gonna sit in that space for just a minute and just like hard meditate for just like a
Sure.
minute.
Yeah, go ahead and make a wisdom check.
22.
22. The thing that you're looking at, it is very clearly not a language that you understand. And if it is a word or a language or a letter or something like that, it's intricate. So you're thinking probably not a letter or a language. It looks more like a map or a constellation or a puzzle. You know what I mean?
The code of some, maybe some kind. Okay, I got what you're saying.
It appears to be less of a, like if this is a letter, then it's an extremely intricate way of doing things, and you're like, I don't know why somebody would set this up. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
It doesn't jive with any sort of language that you know.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And that one for 3 total.
Oh my dear.
Sunny takes a nap.
If you ever sat down to meditate and your brain's just jabbering at you, just nonstop. So you're thinking about all of the times that you had in the Feywild and all of your different experiences, especially with your old master. And then the shock of coming through here, or into the material plane and being here. And then meeting Miss Pecan and learning all you did about the mortal world in that way. And it's hard to tap into anything with this just constant flow of thought that is rifling through you. And then it hits you a little bit that you don't know when the next time you're going to see Miss Pecan.
I tear up just a little bit, and I'm like, these stupid faces leaking, just like Jayrmi.
You guys can all hear this from like, just like 5 foot from you.
Through the rock.
Yeah.
And I like take the torch, but I'm like dragging it behind me at this point, and I kind of like stomp back through the rubble.
Sure.
Pick
Torch
up.
gets stuck.
Yeah.
As you come out, I just stare at you blankly and like wipe sweat from my face from moving all the rocks and like fling it at you.
Right?
I do the same with my
face
tear.
is leaking too. Are we done?
There's a big enough hole now where you can get in and out without having to squeeze too much.
I fling a tear back at him, and I go, "Oh, barrels!" And I walk over to the barrel. I pick up
That's
the
great.
scale, and I put it with the other one, and put it in my
So the
bag.
other one, you take off your pack and then like take everything out of the pack and then pull up a flap and then take the other one and put it on top of another one that looks just like it. Puts the flap back over, kind of tucks everything away, and then pack back on.
Sunny,
So it's very clearly like hidden away in her stuff.
when we have a moment to stop, I don't really understand what this is, but I would like to possibly copy it down in my notebook once we have a moment. So I will try to grab that from you at a later time.
I don't like these tear things.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
really weird. How
Part
do
of
I make it stop?
you just
You
maybe
don't
laugh
feel
a little
anything.
bit. Have a drink.
That's booze, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I think it'll help your spirit.
So Patsy comes poking his head around and goes, is everything okay?
It's terrible. Everything is terrible.
Roll a
Rubble
barrel.
everywhere.
Carry this.
It's a mess.
Where, and then you see Gilgamesh kind of he's like, load him up. Help him out. Come on. And then he goes back in and he starts pulling a barrel out for you guys and helping you along. You're able to kind of get everything out. Now you have 4 barrels and not necessarily a way to carry them so far.
So, like,
But they are outside of the area. Patsy's helps pick them up and bring them out away from the tomb. And there is a small crowd of people waiting outside to see what happens here. So all they see is Patsy bringing booze out.
so are like the remains in the barrels? Because didn't he want to collect remains? Wait, where is he?
Currently, you can hear him singing a dwarven drinking song in the room way on the end. Just happy as hell that this all worked out. And you can hear him almost like carving up the scorpion that you guys killed, the big one. You know, take the carapace off and make a trophy out of it. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, just trying to gross that up.
Not unlike carving into a lobster, I guess.
Fair.
Well,
Land
I'm
lobster.
hungry.
All right, well, mission accomplished. We can take High Priestess now, all right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Time is of the essence here.
Okay, let's go get her.
Okay.
We just, I'll pick up one barrel on my shoulder and at least take that with me.
I think you guys have, what, 2 horses?
Yeah.
But no other apparatus.
We're going
No.
to need a cart. As farmers, we'll find
So
some.
you guys are all coming out? At this
Yeah, yeah, we'll just,
that's
at least
pretty-
Ribos and I are now out. We were just talking about.
point? Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Popping out,
Hopping
yeah.
out as well. All right. So you see everyone's kind of standing around, and they're like,
What?
the gnome person ends up piping up. So what happened?
There was a big scorpion. We killed it.
Does anybody have a wagon?
No.
No.
Nope.
That's
And
unfortunate.
then the high priestess comes and she's like, I just brought my horse. I didn't think I'd be helping you carry some alcohol.
No, that's okay, High Priestess. We're actually most interested in you. Are you free now? You come with us.
Yeah, with this resolved, and she kind of like looks over at the druids that are like, one thing. I'd like to speak with that one. Points over at Sunny.
I'm like on the barrel that he's rolling back and forth on it, like trying to keep my balance, just so we're
There you go.
clear with what I'm doing. Huh? Me? What?
Come with me. And starts hobbling away.
I'm gonna follow.
Sure.
We're having a drink?
She doesn't respond to you.
Oh.
But you guys see more of the druid folk that are out here, and there's quite a bit of people that have heavy elvish and dwarvish traits. Quite a bit of red hair that is around. It's not everybody, but it seems to be a significantly larger portion than most. But yep, so they all have almost like they're shorter, but as light of an elf, short as a dwarf, but then they're still kind of broader shouldered, which makes them seem almost spindly, if that makes sense. So, yep. They have little, very like thick beards, but short, and for all appear to be wearing things that are very clearly like homespun. You know what I mean? Like they didn't buy these things; they made these things, and some of them are better quality than others. So you get the feeling that you make your thing for a lot of these situations, or at least if somebody makes something and it's bad, you wear it anyway, because you don't want to waste material and things of that nature. But they all seem very curious about you folks, and specifically about Sunny, because the head of their group is interesed. You know what I mean?
Who is
Like,
asking me to come with them?
this is Anne, or as you've heard it from.
Yes. We are in no man's land.
I came up with that on a drive home, which just popped into my head. I'm like,
I
oh
love
my
it.
god! All right, yep,
Oh my
that's-
god.
it's
Good on you for remembering that.
I've been chuckling about it now.
But yeah, you've heard that the high priestess call her Annabelle.
Spooky. I follow.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys start coming out to a thicker portion of trees and thicker portion of trees, and then you start seeing a thatch hut here and a dug-in home over here, and end up getting into this clearing where it almost appears like a natural amphitheater of there's tall grasses onto the sides, and then it's slowly kind of grading down to this nice little grove.
Ooh,
With it has a willow tree sitting not quite center, but pulled more northward from this little clearing. But no one seems to stop you as you come walking up. There's almost like pews in a way, made out of just logs, just rolled over logs placed there. They don't look like they were cut down. They look like they had fallen down and they just moved them there. And it's very calm here. So she goes and walks up near the tree and stands there with her staff and just stares at it for a little while.
Is it sleeping?
I thought they were going to talk to her.
No,
Is it not answering you? Sometimes they can get really
I can't
stuck.
speak to trees.
Oh.
And she kind of turns towards you and goes, there was a gentleman here a while ago. and he told us if someone was able to hear the trees, to allow them into that barrel. Which we didn't know about the barrel until then.
Barrel like the booze barrels that we
No,
just.
barrow.
Barrow.
Barrow, like where you bury people, kind of.
Okay.
So, we didn't take it too seriously at first, but then he showed us things that even the highest of us cannot replicate.
Like what kind of things?
Magical things.
I like magic.
He helped this forest.
I like to help.
Well, good. Did you find what you were
Likes to
looking
help
for
drink
there?
the booze.
I mean, we
It's
found
very
booze, so that's always a good thing.
It's disappointing. That's all that he sent you to find there.
Well, he was just looking for bones. We did find scorpions, things. They
No,
were
I'm not talking about Gilgamesh.
Oh.
No. I understand what he was. But this other man,
What man?
the one that helped us with the forest, he told us to wait for you.
Oh, what was his name?
We never got one.
Oh, well, what did he look like?
Elvish. He had brown skin. It almost shimmered, but not quite. And dark hair. And he was slightly stooped, as if he had a bad back. But he appeared fairly young, not feeble or infirm.
Did you ask the tree what his name was?
I can't speak to the trees,
Oh, yeah.
darling.
Hold on. And I'll dig my mask out of my tree.
Sure.
Now, look at my crown. Isn't it pretty? I made this top piece like all by myself.
It's very pretty.
I'm getting really good.
Is it? Okay. Is that what you found? You had that when you came here. What did you find in the? We wanted to know what you found in the tomb.
Oh! And I'll dig through my backpack a little bit more.
Sure.
Oh, is this what you mean?
And then they kind of raises an eyebrow and looks over at there's a crowd of people, but they're not right on you guys. They're like in the trees and watching and listening. And he goes, "What is this?"
Well, it's just like this one.
Pulls out another one.
I will never stop being a pain in the ass. I'm sorry.
Right, it's all right. And she just kind of looks around a little bit and goes, "What are they?"
Well, they're mine.
Well, I didn't ask whose they were, I asked what they were.
Oh. Well, they're, I was getting really sad for a second. You wanted me to talk to the tree, right? I can talk to the tree. What do you want to ask him?
No, I don't need you to talk to the tree.
Oh, well, why did I put my mask on then?
You didn't have to. No one asked you to do that.
I thought I was here to talk to the tree.
You can if you'd like.
Okay, maybe he'll remember his name, and I'll communicate to the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just look at the lady.
So she takes a step or two back, like from you, and lets you go up to the very clearly sacred tree.
That's funny.
She's asking me about this guy who said that I was going to be here. I don't know who this is. Do you know who he is? Why? I don't know.
And you hear a rumbling, almost like it's thunder.
Stop a tree.
You know, no, but it's not angry. It's just. Have you ever met somebody who they're intimidating because their voice is deep, bassy, and loud, but they're not trying to be loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this
He was
rumble.
raised by one.
Yeah, there you go. So it's even when they're not trying to be aggressive, it still sounds like you're like, oh my god, it's like that. But if you're speaking through thunder, if that makes
Perfect.
sense, it's otherworldly. If that makes sense.
I touch the tree and I'm like,
So when it speaks out to you,
yeah.
it ends up saying yes. Just it's the essence of the word yes. It's not
Okay.
the language. It's an affirmative. It's a kind of
Perfect. Well, who was he? what's his name? Do I know who he is? And why would he? How did he know I was going to be here? I didn't know I was going to be here.
He was no man.
That's not helping. Wait, he's doing the name thing again. Because I'm going to look at Annabelle and be like, gnome, man, is this?
No. Of course it bit me in the ass. You're like, it was you? What? No. But he was not of here. He was no mortal,
Oh, so like me.
in a way.
I look at Annabelle, see if she heard me, and I look back at the tree.
They're only hearing your side of the conversation. So, yeah, not a lot of information to
Perfect.
go through. Yeah.
Does it occur to me who it was?
It's up
Yeah,
to you.
okay.
Yeah. This is Sunny's information and Sunny's head. So whatever you decide.
I will pull out my flask and start drinking some more.
Sure.
But I'll kind of walk around to the other side of the tree and like slump on it and just sit down against the tree and think. Which you guys have probably never actually seen me try to process thoughts.
Go ahead and make another wisdom check. Okay, you guys, you see Sunny come up and start babbling at this tree, and that making a whole lot of sense. And then walks around the tree and sits on the other side.
About the time she started speaking with the tree, I just put the barrel down and sat on it,
Sure. Waiting.
just waiting.
Oh, Ribos, I don't think I can help here. I'm gonna go find Gilgamesh. I'll meet you back at by the other barrels.
See if you can find a card.
You got it, Ribos.
Thank you.
My thoughts exactly. And I'm gonna go
Sure. Yeah, go
talk to
ahead.
Gilgamesh.
Shikaba.
That's a pretty good idea. I like the cart part. I think I'm gonna help her with the cart thing.
Okay, I'll
Because if I roll this barrel down this amphitheater thingy, it's not coming back up.
I'll keep an eye on the little one.
All right. So you guys moving over there. He is very clearly carving up you can still hear him yelling at Patsy as he's carving up the scorpion, trying to get the meat out of it before it goes.
Is it out? Is he outside or is he
No,
still
he's
inside?
still in there. He's
right.
but he is sounding even drunker as time goes on. You know what I mean? It's just very clearly
Praying
excited
very
about
heavily.
this happening here. But yeah, so you guys hear him yelling at Patsy and Patsy yelling back, and it sounds like there's a friendship there. But it's veiled. But yeah. So you guys are able to go down into there, and he's covered up to the elbows in scorpion guts.
Gilgamesh.
No.
Thank you again for this
Oh,
and
well,
this.
we are very happy to help. But,
Please.
we have also come into a little problem. These barrels we want to take, but we have nothing to take them with. Do you happen to have a cart we could borrow?
Oh, I have the one card, but not. I need that one and you guys remember there's quite a bit of there's a lot of barrels on there. It's for my prayers.
Right.
True.
So it's
yes,
you can ask townsfolk, I guess, over in Acorn, but
All right. Well, are you going anywhere specifically after this?
Jay, could we
yeah,
borrow
yes and
your
no.
car?
I have
Could we
to
borrow you?
I have to inform people of this, but I have to secure it first. I have to make sure no one else can get in here. Make sure everything's okay. I'll be here for a little while still.
Okay.
Well, we
Yeah.
don't have that much time.
Oh! And then he goes through and pulls out these 4 rolled-up pieces of paper with his scorpion-gutted hands and hands them to you. This will prove that you own those barrels,
All right.
or otherwise it could get messy, I guess.
No, I do like contracts. Very nice to have, but oh, all right. Well, we'll work with this. Thank you again, Gilgamesh. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right. Shkaba, let's go outside. I can talk to you a little bit out there. And I'll walk with Shkaba. And
Goodbye.
Goodbye! And just flinging, just...
Yes.
All right.
So I
Well,
tried to capture his essence there a little bit.
Great.
This might come in handy. Maybe we don't have to take the barrels with us. We can take the barrels with us, and we can leave them here for now.
Or we just take his cart.
Jeremy just like
It
face
is
drops,
unattended.
just like,
It's not like
what do you mean?
Scrubbout's
We just
right.
take his cart.
It
you
is
know?
very like the donkey is attached to it. No one's around it.
Why would we?
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
mean, he said he's gonna be here for a while. So obviously, and it looks like if we take it, he's not gonna remember where he put it.
Okay. I like Jeremy like was like really shocked at first, and I was like, gears are turning. Like, okay,
There's
all right.
There's the
But
heat
we
coming out.
bottle.
There's that.
We exactly.
Bottle.
We can leave a note. You know, we like I owe you. We coming back
Oh,
like
you guys do
5
know
days maybe.
there is a temple to this place, to his religion in town. So
See, you know, we could drop it off at the temple in the
When
town.
we're done with it,
Yeah,
right?
we could leave it with them. Be like, hey, this is this guy's, and you know, if he comes here, this is his. If not, let us know. We'll come back for it.
Skaba, I like the way you think.
JC, you know, I
All right. Yes, I agree. Let's borrow it. All right, let's go tell the rest of them.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
awesome. All right.
That's good.
All right. So you exit out, and there's the donkey attached to the cart, waiting patiently.
All right. We'll wait for them to get back, and then we'll just casually take our leave.
That's a good idea.
I like
you know,
it.
I'll go stand over there. You know, make sure nobody messes with the cart.
All right. You want to maybe help me these barrels while we wait? Get them up there on there.
Yeah. Do
So
what
I
I
know
can.
that their rivals had grabbed one of the barrels, and then
Yeah.
the other three were. Did you bring the barrels over to the amphitheater? Because there was 4 of them. So
I think 2 are probably because I didn't carry one
Gotcha.
over there.
I rolled. I
Yeah,
rolled
yeah.
ours.
Rolled one out there. So if you rolled it with you to this area, so there's 3 where you're at, and the rivals is sitting on one.
Okay, perfect. So
Beautiful.
we'll spend the rest of our time.
Oh yeah.
Getting
and then
them in
you're
there.
tall and strong enough to.
I'll give a little lift on the bottom, and you just take it the rest of the way. Perfect. Wrap up from there.
But Rivos is still close to proximity of me
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Still within earshot.
Okay.
If you speak loud enough.
Okay. I rolled a 2, so 4 on that wisdom check,
You're
by the
just
way.
very lost in your own
Yeah.
sea of stuff.
I'm going to very firmly and almost just aggravated walk up to the barrel and be like, "Excuse me," and try to find whatever hole is on this barrel so I can fill up my flask.
So,
I just look down at it.
what do you want?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I was trying to push his legs, like, get off, get
You
off, get off, get off,
ever
get
have a little
off.
kid try and get you to go do something or get off their seat or something like that? Yeah.
Sonny, what do you need?
I need to fill my flask and you're in the way.
This barrel is not tapped.
Well,
No.
yes. I am going to kick him really hard.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Now I roll good. Jesus. It's 18 plus.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
So she
great
hauls
hit.
up and
Ow!
don't.
If you do that again, you're going to regret
Red roll
it.
damage, but then the way that you kick him is not like a kick in the shin kind of thing. You kind of lean over and snap out and catch him in the side of the knee.
You hit him with that
Like right
Bruce
where
Lee
the
kick.
all the muscle kind of connects to it right
Between the
above
armor,
knee.
just like
Yeah.
So it's not a fun spot to get kicked in.
Yeah, it was
Walking
24
funny for a
was
couple
total.
minutes.
So
Yeah.
Damage?
24 hit to
No,
hit. Like,
okay.
I got you good. Only 5 damage.
that's good for real.
I see.
Still a good hit.
You
to
still
grit my
had,
teeth. I still had temporary.
yes.
Yeah, so.
But yes.
Sonny, don't ever do that again.
Don't stay seated when I tell you to move.
You see,
You're a great
Annabelle comes over and she's like, maybe not in the sacred grove, please.
I just need to fill my flask. Can you tell him to move so I can fill my flask,
How about we
please?
get you something special?
Okay.
And we just move this out of
Thank
the way
you.
here. Thank you.
It's not even
Come
tapped.
with. And
I ignore you.
goes goes off to the side just to get you away from their sacred ground where violence is
Thank
probably
fucking
not.
science for animals.
And then it gets you over to what appears to be almost like a communal, like, pavilion, if that makes sense. It's it's set up in a way where you can have a lot of tables and chairs and logs and what have you sitting around. And then there's a kind of fire pit in the middle, and there are quite a bit of people wandering around. And this seems to be like the heart of this little village, which is very, you don't see any tools around, very specifically. And it appears that everyone's trying to live as with this place as possible without outside influence. It's like the medieval magical version of the Amish
Okay,
kind of thing, yeah, in a way.
I'll take it. Great descriptor.
But yeah, so they're able to sit you down, and then they bring over some not as strong as you would have hoped alcohol.
Thank you.
And just like a little hollowed out, like it's gourd, I suppose. Yeah, that would
Perfect.
work.
Um,
Yep. I had another thing in mind, and it left my head. So
that's all right.
gourd.
Gourd's great.
Yeah.
Um,
hands
I
to
drink
you.
it very quickly.
Sure.
And try to not ungratefully ask for another one.
Sure. You just chug it down, and then
Yeah.
and then a little person about your height takes it and runs off and gets you some more and brings it back.
Perfect.
But, yeah.
So I am going to, when they bring back
Mm-hmm.
the gourd, I'm going to walk away with that, along with whatever's left in my flask, and just go get hammered back by the tree.
Sure. So, and Annabelle's standing there. So you drink both of those things, set the thing down, and then just
Yeah.
march away. And she's just
Yeah, and I'm gonna take both of the scales. And I'm
comes
gonna
with
kind of
you.
like sit them out in front of me as I finish, like throw
Mm.
the gourd, and then just sit with my
What
flask
the heck?
and just stare at both of them and
Sure.
try to, I guess, continue to meditate for a little while to see if
Gotcha.
I can.
Things are definitely clouded for you,
Yeah.
which is making it very difficult.
Yeah.
If anyone approaches you, do you hide away the scales, or do you allow them to just?
No,
Peek over
they're
your
they're
shoulder.
sitting out in front of me. Like I'm
Sure.
clearly trying to like do not disturb vibes because I'm
Mm.
sitting behind a tree, like kind of away
Right.
from people.
Sure.
But they are like, I'm crisscross, they're
Mm.
in front of me. I'm heavily drinking,
Gotcha.
trying to clear my mind.
So, everyone avoids you in that
Yeah.
moment, and then Annabelle comes over to Rybos and goes, "Is she going to be okay?"
She seems to always be okay, surprisingly.
How can she talk to trees? That's what I don't understand.
It's a bit of a long story, and I don't really understand it either.
Well, I have time.
I don't really feel like expressing the entire thing, but
And then
To
these
keep
two
it
come
short.
over at the same as you are saying this.
I'll like
but-
unsling my pack and start rifling through,
Mhm.
and I'll pull out the mask
Sure.
that I have.
Mhm.
does this tell you anything?
Hand it to her.
Turns it over. It's a wooden mask.
There was a grove of trees. These were attached to them.
Where? And then, like,
back down
kind
the
of
road a ways.
Pulls it a little closer to them. And, where? You can relay the information without
East.
knowing. Yes, it was along the road, southeast, to Blue Rear. That's what it was. But it was, what was it, halfway or so? It was about the halfway point.
Maybe it was
They, like-
before the checkpoint.
Yes.
However far that is in between.
Yeah, and the checkpoint was
Near the
more or
border,
less halfway
right?
through.
So-
Yeah.
So just south of the border.
Right.
This
Yes.
province.
Yeah, keep this.
I have no use for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then just like without breaking eye contact with this mask, takes it and walks away. And yeah, then you guys saw that little bit of the exchange.
Jayrmi's walking, but also has her little note, not her big book, but like it looks like a little notebook that she writes in, and she's actually writing a letter to Gilgamesh. Dear our friend Gilgamesh. We are going to borrow your cart since you'll be here a while. We will return it. Again, it is a borrow.
I love
Thank you very much, Jayrmi and friends.
Give him that goblin borrow.
And that I'm doing that as we walk up and whatever Scotland you wanna.
And ironically, so in your culture and little tribes, within the tribe, you could do that if you knew that the other person didn't need it right then, and it would be no problem. You know, there was a lot of give and take. That kind of
Right when Shaba said it in the way that he did, it kind of registered with Jayrmi that, oh yeah, we do that all the time. We're
Totally.
borrowing it from a friend
Right.
who is not using it right now.
Exactly.
Love it.
All right. So is Shabbat doing anything in particular? You got
No,
back.
we're just coming back,
quietly.
you know. Just gonna let everybody know we got away.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Where did you find one?
There was one there was just like parked there, it had a donkey on it already, you know, I figured, hey, why not try this one? We're gonna leave him a note, don't worry.
Yes, it's
Did you take the donkey and cart with you to this place?
nope, just left
Just
it.
left it there.
Yeah. Jayrmi did note to Gilgamesh right now. He's not ready to use it
This
yet.
was Gilgamesh's cart.
Well, he's not using
or
it, so
less,
we're
James.
borrowing it. We're gonna bring it back when we have time.
I don't think he's gonna remember where it's at. So if we move it,
Most importantly, he says he's not going to use it right away.
exactly.
Well, that seems reasonable.
He
Maybe
said
we,
it was okay.
maybe we can drop it off at the, his church in Kryi.
Yeah, yes, or yes.
Yeah.
However way he finds.
it. Yeah.
I'll scoop up the barrel, put it on my shoulder.
Sonny, are you ready?
I am oblivious to most things in this moment.
You guys can see where Sunny's at, but very hidden by the tree.
I'll say it a little louder.
I'm
a little more
actively
growl.
trying to ignore my things in my environment to focus.
Sure.
So,
Go ahead and make one more wisdom check.
okay. 8.
Sunny, you're suddenly angry. Like just, it's whatever you're trying to connect to is not doing it. And when you were at home,
Yeah.
you could do it. You could do that whenever. You know, that was the thing. And then you get thinking about home, and then everything happened. You're just more and more anger.
Rivals, what do you say to me specifically?
Are you ready now?
Ready for what?
We have to go take care of the potatoes.
You have to go take care of potatoes.
Does that mean you're not coming with us?
Well, you guys are probably just gonna leave me anyway. So I'm just gonna stay here.
No,
You made the kid angry. What'd you do?
I don't know.
We left and we got the cart and you made her angry. And now we gotta deal with this.
I occupied
You know
the
what happens when the
gnome
little
lady.
ones get in attitudes like this?
I know she kicked me.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
You clearly
I
did
was going
something.
to. I told her if she did it again, she would go.
Jayrmi
see, that was it
closes
right
her
there.
notebook and walks over to Sunny and sits next to her. Sunny, what is
Everybody
wrong?
leaves me anyway, and I start walking off.
No,
Just
Sunny,
did you
Sunny.
leave the plates?
No, I have
Scoop them up
since
and-
put them. Yeah. Yep.
Sunny, we have never left you at any time.
Do I hear
Not
you say that?
yet.
Oh, so now we're playing what
What
this
you
game?
mean everyone leaves you? You in my pocket every day.
You left.
Where did I go?
You had a fucking barrel.
All right, we blame Sanmat for that one, Sunny.
He was paying debt for the rest of us.
Now, I know you are upset, but we must keep moving. You know.
In my best mall walk.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah. Your speed is what, 40?
And I'm like just standing there by the tree. Just all right, well then we're gonna leave without you. Like you said. Fine.
Told you.
No, we're not.
Oh, don't worry. she'll follow us. It's kind of like, he's like, Jayrmi's just like, come on.
Like leaving a kid at the bar.
Yeah, we're just gonna go drink all this booze with her, huh?
That's
I
right.
have my own.
All
I
right.
just keep going.
Good luck when it runs out.
This is the really special holy booze.
I found booze before I met you guys, and I'll find them again. Double time.
Sure, sure.
All right. I don't know
As you
what's
look
going
deeper
on,
and
but
deeper
this is
into
not
the
good.
You start getting into parts of the forest here that are people haven't been walking around. You know what I mean? It's there's animals embedded here and that kind of thing, but it's like those obnoxious little vines that get caught up on your ankles when you're trying to walk through the woods.
I start flying.
Start happening. Then, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Start floating over top
Rebel
of
child
that,
now.
moving things out of the way.
Three-nager.
The lower portion of the canopies and stuff like that, or not the canopies, but the lower portion of the woods is very covered in foliage. So, like, in order to avoid those things, you'd fly higher and higher up until you start getting to the mid sections of the trees.
Okay.
And yeah, where are you heading to?
Yeah. Have they lost me at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no following you. Especially when you start flying like that, maybe a half speed.
Yeah.
And you also move faster than anyone in the group. Other than Shaba would be the only one that could track you.
Today.
I will find a comfy perch on a tree,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and I will settle in there sadly and think about the old monastery that was up amongst the
Right.
canopy of trees previously, and be really sad panda for a while.
All right. You do hear after a few minutes, a light tweeting.
I perk up.
Yeah. It is. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
9.
It takes you a few minutes to find it, but there is you're kind of zipping around, looking around, and you find a little bird's nest. There's 3 baby birds all kind of chirping and then like doing that mouth thing where they're trying to get food from mom.
I am enamored by said Tweety birds,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget that I'm sad.
Sure.
And I'm like, I probably shouldn't touch them. Can I touch you? And I'm straight talking to them.
Sure.
Like they can understand me.
Make one more perception check for
I don't want to.
me. We're getting out all the bad rolls right now.
Ah! 21.
21, there you go. You hear a flapping before you see it, but then you kind of move back and the mom bird kind of gets up in your face a little bit and then
I fly like
Yeah.
eye to eye to it. I'm like,
goes
Cute-
out. You guys
cute
might be a little
kids.
bit, and then it's territorial bird kind
Yeah.
of thing. And eventually, when you end up leaving it alone, it goes and starts kind of hopping around on the branches, looking not necessarily. So birds don't like look directly at you like
Yeah.
that, but it's sitting sideways, and you can tell that it's keeping
Yeah.
an eye on you.
totally.
So it's just a little thing too.
I put my mask on
Sure.
and just like plop on the branch and like watch her feed her babies.
Sure, yeah. All right, so Sunny's gone for quite a bit.
Nothing like pre-masticated meals.
All right,
This is not good.
you guys.
This is not good,
You're,
the rebels.
marching out of the thing and out of the little glade deal that you
We
have.
don't have time for this.
Well, no, we don't. I don't want to leave her behind.
Well, she kind of gave us no choice.
Do we
Damn, Jay.
get back to
Well, Jayrmi's like too
No, yeah,
business.
you
Like,
do your thing.
it's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I only have so much time to worry about this stuff, and sadly, we just don't have enough time to worry about this right now. We have bigger matters to worry about.
John, unfortunately, that body's gonna go bad.
yes.
The potatoes.
There's nobody around.
I like
There's a bunch of people like
I'm
behind
Jayrmi's like-
trees watching you do as you're walking.
Right.
as we come back upon the cart. Is the cart loaded with Gilgamesh's booze?
Yep.
I was just like, stop short.
Is this the cart?
Yes?
Jay.
It's full. This doesn't belong to us.
Oh,
No,
no,
it
the
belongs
barrels
to-
inside are ours.
Gilgamesh.
Don't worry, his are on the side over there.
I start counting. But I stop when I get to like 6 or 7.
Right, oh, yeah.
We only have 4, and I have 1 right here.
Well, should we take his out and then just keep ours in here?
I think he may be a little bit upset if he comes out and doesn't have any of his booze.
All right, Baribos, will you
One
please
thing to borrow his cart.
take the booze out of the...
Yes, I'll set one down. And I'll just go.
I will do this. You go find Sunny and convince her to come with us.
How am I supposed to do
I
that?
don't know, you're the speaker.
And I just like stomp off and start moving barrels.
Gabba, I mean, you can fly and you might be able to
Right,
find
boss.
her better.
You need me? I think the donkey's gone mad, crazy. I gotta go see what's happening.
It's just sitting there very calmly, one ear
Gabba,
flat.
she loves your pocket. You're the best
Well,
person
here,
to
take
go.
the jacket then.
So he hands you a jacket with the gold thread onto the one pocket and just waves as he's
So
walking
you're
away from
expecting
you.
me, in the time you take the barrels out of the cart, to go into the woods, find Sunny, convince her to come back without dying. That's the expectation for me right now.
Just go wait to the tree, she'll come out eventually.
Yes.
All right.
Wave the pocket in the air like this.
Yeah, maybe she can smell it. All right. Jerry will walk back to the tree and
All right.
start. Here, Sunny, 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 Sunny. Pocket, Sunny.
Oh god.
I have
Like a
Shabba's
bullfight.
pocket for you.
It's like you're trying to snap like dust out of a rug.
Here, Sunny, Sunny, Sunny. And I'll do that, and I won't go any further than that, though.
All right.
Oh my
I'll try to
goodness.
kind of like yell and project, but
So, Sunny, how long are you hanging out with the birds?
A while.
Sure.
Like at this point, I intend on like staying there for the night and sleeping on the situation.
All right. Yeah. So, Sunny,
So you know my intention.
10 minutes go by and
What
there
do
is
I
no
have?
Sunny. How does Jayrmi respond?
she's getting frustrated. So she kind of like snaps the jacket one more time, and she's like, "Sunny, I command you to come!" And like trying to like use her like magical influence of command, and like she kind of like holds onto the book and like,
With
Come!
no
And-
target,
yeah.
and you know that it's within that 60-foot thing.
yep, and I have to be able to see her. But
Right.
also, Jeremy's not too familiar about how some of this stuff all works. So
The spell itself doesn't. It's like when you start up an engine,
yeah.
and then it doesn't have anywhere to go. So you can tell that it's there, but you're like, where the fuck do I point this?
Sunny, come out! I give up. This is waste of Jeremy's time. And Jeremy's gonna walk back to the cart. I don't know. I tried.
You guys, about 15, 20 minutes into the thing, you're just about done unloading everything. But anything that you guys are talking about while that's going on, or just silence?
I'm just moving barrels.
Yeah, I don't want to make him any more
Moving
mad.
barrels.
Seething.
All right, there you go. Yep. So you get all the barrels out and load up your 4 and are well ready to go. Right about when Jayrmi comes along.
Just staring at Jayrmi approaching without Sunny.
Very like defeated, shaking my head.
This is a sad thing.
Don't know what to do. I tried to even use my book, and it didn't like the way I did that. So I don't know what else to do.
Well, let's go talk to the High Priestess and move this thing along.
Maybe we can get her to go back, and then maybe we can wait a little bit. But I mean, our journey is a day, so we can't wait any longer.
You are correct.
Yeah, and, to clarify, once you guys get back, then you'll have 20 hours. So you do have a 20-hour buffer zone.
And
in
it's a
case
day
anything goes
journey
wrong.
to go back,
No.
right?
So it's you guys will have hours worth of extra time before you'll hit the point of no return. But things can go wrong. So there's that. And you do know that there's at least some people out there that just tried to kill you yesterday.
Yeah, very fresh.
Yes.
All right, I don't know how long we can wait for Sunny. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Let's talk to the High Priestess.
All right.
And the High Priestess is pacing back and forth. Hadn't really seen where you guys went. So
After
it's just
being
kind
like,
of
you
like,
ready to go? Like an
Just-
hour ago.
she's still outside of the barrow.
More or less.
Oh.
She,
So she's watched
yeah,
us move
general.
all of these barrels off of Gilgamesh's
Yep.
cart.
but it, like far enough away where she's not
She wasn't paying
interfering,
attention.
but just kind of she has her horse like tied up and is just
Waiting.
yep. Well, you can imagine that she probably had an aggravating couple of days dealing with Gilgamesh and the druids.
Indeed.
So it's yep.
I'll hop down off the cart.
You all ready?
Jace?
Jeremy's gonna take one last look back. Look forward. Okay. I leave note in between barrels for Gilgamesh, and I put in there that we're leaving the cart and Kryi at his place of worship.
Should we leave another note for Sonny?
Yes. And I'll
All
take a
right.
few steps back to the cart and grab one barrel like, on the ground. I'll look around and all of the stuff that we've unloaded in the cart and everything, see if there's a tapper for the barrel.
Yeah.
I'll grab it and just like hit it and try to make it loud without wrecking it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And shout as loud as I can. I don't know how far I am from where Sunny is.
Real far.
Mm-hmm.
Real far.
Quite a bit.
Your barrel is tapped!
Thank you for stage yelling. That's it.
And leave the note under there after
Sure.
you're done writing it.
All right.
All right, so-
Dear our dearest friend, Sunny, we are sorry we had to leave. We didn't want to. Please come find us in Kryi. Please don't fly. Love, Jayrmi and friends.
You should tell her to fly. You should probably get there quicker.
Crosses off. All right, fly, but discreetly.
If you tell her to fly, it usually works
Just
out.
cross it off again. Shkaba says fly high. Love, Jayrmi and friends. Good.
Tell her to swing away.
Jayrmi looks at you and then stuffs it underneath the barrel that's tabbed.
I
All
will
right.
cherish that note forever.
in the woods, as you're sitting on the branch
Yeah.
and waiting, it's been about a half hour or so since like this whole thing started and all that. And you hear a rustling down below in the trees, and you see that the little one that was bringing you the gourd earlier is like wandering around and looking up specifically. And it's just kind of. Hello?
That's not Annabelle, right?
No,
Okay.
not Annabelle. It appears to be a child. You're not sure quite on the gender there, but
Okay.
between dwarven and elvish features, orangish red hair, and just kind of scuffed up, wearing what amounts to like a. It's almost like a dress kind of thing, but it's just the simplest form of garment that you could possibly make. It's just a bag with armholes and a head hole
Perfect.
kind of thing. And just kind of is wandering through, like imagine a tunic that's too long and with no
Perfect.
sleeves. Yeah. And
Very
just-
Dobby is what I
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Dobby. Yeah. Hello?
So, I was gonna say, so at that point, I'm up there,
Mhm.
bored, just kicking my feet, trying to like. Wonder if I should go talk to Annabelle. Maybe I'll just. Oh, hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Where are you?
Where are you?
In the woods?
Me too.
But where?
Right here.
Oh! Looks up. He goes, you can fly?
I climbed,
Oh,
and I start to hover back down, but like
climb.
climb,
Just
hover.
miming climb. Nice. But there's no back there.
Huh?
You were flying back there?
I like your tunic.
Thanks. I made it.
You did a really good job.
It's okay.
Hey, see, do you think you could take me to Annabelle, but like where nobody else could see, like super sneaky? I'm pretty sneaky. Are you sneaky? I mean, I heard you, so maybe not
Yes.
too sneaky.
Are you a fairy?
Huh? No, I was talking about Annabelle.
Well, you can talk to trees. You can fly. And you're little.
So
like me.
Annabelle, Annabelle, we were gonna go see
Okay.
Annabelle.
All right. I mean, I can take you. That's fine.
How would you say that I
What?
could lift this small person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just scoop them up over my shoulder.
Screaming. As soon as you get up into the air, just screaming. Just and like it starts panic as you're zipping through the trees and like avoiding branches and stuff like that.
I'm gonna
And then
go ahead.
it goes from panicked to like and then like happy noises as the further along you go.
You better get sneaky when we get closer. Shh.
Okay.
Cool, and I am
You
gonna.
can fly. You are a fairy.
You're flying. You're a fairy. Now be quiet. You traumatize this poor child.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
As we get closer to town. Shh. Sneaky. Where's Annabelle?
I don't know.
Well, where would she be?
You might be talking to your friends.
They're not my friends. They're just gonna leave me anyway.
Well, it seems like your friends.
Well, where's Annabelle?
I don't know.
Okay, well, and I'm going to like around the edge, super sneaky, try to see if I can spot her.
Sure.
And if she's in any capacity, like a room, an tent, a hut, or whatever, where I can get her alone, I'm gonna sneaky to her.
Sure. Go ahead and make a stealth check and perception check. The stealth with disadvantage because the kid is not helping.
Are you
Okay.
sneaky? Yes.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
This kid's like 7.
Oh yeah,
You know?
he's the
Yeah.
best.
So that's what you gotta do.
So for stealth with disadvantage, still a 10.
Oh, there you go.
Hardly. And then it was a 14 for perception.
Okay.
No, it was
there's-
not. It was 18 for perception.
You end up getting some people that notice you, but then they see 2 kids running around in the woods and don't think anything of it. They might not recognize you specifically, but they see 2 shapes this tall. You
Okay.
know, like, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. This is what kids do.
If you're not sneaky, you can't
I'm trying.
be. Well, just shh. Deep breaths. Quieter. Okay. Walk like this. But I'm actually like hovering.
It's like, I can't do that.
Oh, I mean like this. And then I start
Right.
tiptoeing,
And you're like still kind of hovering, and they're just
like motioning.
like crunching on leaves as they're going.
Perfect.
But yeah, you end up finding what appears to be like a long hut kind of thing, and you can hear Annabelle's voice in there talking loudly to other people that are, and not like screaming at them, but definitely this is important information. kind of
Hey.
thing.
What's your name, by the way?
Hi,
Yeah.
Timmy.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sunny. Can you keep a secret?
Sure.
Okay. Super promise you can keep a secret?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
You don't.
Watch this. Shh. Be super secret. And I'm gonna find a crack or something in the tent and
Sure.
try to find
Oh,
a
yeah,
sneaky
yeah.
spot so I
You're
can
able to,
overhear the
like,
conversation.
Move part of the thatch onto the roof and just
Yep.
into there. And like, whoa. Shh. Okay.
And then whoop, the rest of me goes.
Sure.
Great. And I would like to overhear the conversation that
Yeah.
Annabelle is having.
Annabelle seems to be talking to a few of what you would guess would be some of the other important folks in here, and they begin. You see the mask that Ribos gave Annabelle,
Oh, right.
and sitting on the table, and they had, unfortunately, when you get into there, you start hearing them talk, but then it gets very quiet for a moment,
Okay.
and they're all staring at it.
Would I know that that's Ribos's mask, or would I just think that they have one too? And
It looks they were all pretty distinct from
Okay.
each other, so this looks like one that you guys took.
I guess my question would be, would I think she was lying to me about being able to talk to trees because she did have a mask?
No, this definitely looked like one that they like. You're like, hey, I've got that same one.
Got it.
But it's a different one. That
Okay.
kind of thing. You might not know it's Rivals specifically because I don't know how much you pay attention to that, but yeah. They're all staring quietly for a moment, and then one of them pipes up and goes, on the border? Basically, yes. it's amazing. I just it's been lost, or so we have to send a group. I don't know how many of us even go. I don't know if it's going to be dangerous or not, but it's too important.
I would like to stealthily go up to the group, like,
Sure. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
please let me roll high.
Got it.
We're
Believe.
gonna give some other rolls here.
20. Not,
there you go.
Not natural, but 20.
So there's 5 people in there, including Annabelle.
Yeah, like, this is I'm sneaking up because I'm going to be like, oh, what you guys doing?
And then, so like you're like hovering over top of the thing, staring down at it from like the ceiling, and then they're all like just engrossed into this object.
I have one of those.
And they all, how did you get here? And from their perspective, you're hanging on the ceiling.
Okay, good.
They're like, how did you get in here?
Really sneaky, and I'll plop down.
Do you just fall straight down, or how does that
I
work?
am awkwardly going to pretend that I'm like, it's like superhero landing. Like if I were to jump, but I don't really know how to jump.
Give a performance check.
Okay. It's just a terrible attempt of trying to look not floaty.
Sure.
Performance, okay. 16.
Yeah. I mean, most people aren't going to assume that you can fly. So when you land like that, they're like, oh, dexterous little person.
Yeah,
Got it.
totally.
So they're like, why are you, what?
Well, I was here, remember? And then we went to the cave.
Why are
thing,
you
and then-
in this room? How did you get in this room?
Oh, I was just looking for Annabelle.
That is Annabelle.
Oh,
sorry.
I was just looking for you.
The only named NPC in the room.
You said
I
5.
made-
I thought it was like some other person.
I
Like,
made the
bitch, what are
assumption
you
that,
doing?
yeah. All right, but yes, Annabelle is definitely like, has a bewildered and furious look on their face. Because you're just in there, from their perspective, you were in there when they got in there, so you heard all of the conversation and just now popped out.
Oh.
And they're like, you need to go. Why are you here?
Well,
Why are you in this room?
well, you're the one who wanted me to come with you, and now I thought I was just coming with you.
Make a deception check. She like scrunches up her face like, wait, what?
10. Because remember?
You're not, no. You were by the tree, and you
Yeah.
had your plates.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
then we walked away from each other. No, I didn't tell you to come here. How did you know I was coming here?
I could hear you.
Why are you here?
Well, you said something about the guy who said that I was supposed to be here and that I was coming. Well, here I am.
So what did he want? Is it the plates? Is that what he
Well,
left
you're
for you?
supposed to tell me what he wanted. You saw him first.
He just said to wait for you and send you down.
Oh, okay. Well, here I am.
And then you were supposed to, I'm assuming, find something.
Oh, this thing?
May I see it, please?
Do you know how to read it?
I don't know.
I flip it over.
She kind of glares at it for a moment, then the other 4 shuffle around to look at it and kind of gawk over their shoulder. And then she, like, points up at a map behind them of the surrounding area. And there are dots, like, almost painted into it that you're not entirely sure what they mean, but then you like flip the plate over and look up and hold it up to it, and it looks similar.
Ooh, out of character.
Like, this is all of the groves that we know about. But yours has more.
Now I start counting to
Right.
like do
Yes,
the
yes.
comparison.
There are a few more on there.
Meet me at the Grove.
So it looks like their map has 13 spots, and yours has 17.
Anybody good at drawing maps?
And then one of them, like, very slowly with a finger.
Oh, goody. Can you, I need a copy of what's on the wall.
And they're like, they look over at it, and so this thing is a very large piece of hide that they had, like, more or less, like, tattooed this thing into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crude but well made. Does that make sense? Like, it's not made with great material, but it's a map made out of a deer skin.
They're
You know
not
what I
going to
mean?
let me have it.
No. This obviously took them a long time. This, you know, and it looks. So medieval maps aren't always necessarily the most accurate, but they give a general sense of if you go west, you will eventually hit somewhere near here.
Okay.
And a lot of the times, especially if you in an environment like this where you don't have a lot of access of civilized information, this is a best guess kind of map. This is people have been traveling for a long time, so this is the route that I take, and then it's about here, and like, oh, that makes sense if this was there, but you can't follow it turn by turn. They're like, you have one.
Oh,
There. Like,
that's right. And I flip it over and I kind of look at that, and I try to take a minute to intentionally study the differences.
I don't even
between
know
them.
if Sonny would have seen a map before.
Oh,
So, like, you don't even know necessarily what the shape is. You know what a map is.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the continent laid out.
I
Which
see.
is, I will have something like that for you. Well, soon now, because it'll be. But yep.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So my friends leave.
I don't know. We've been in here talking.
Okay, well, I guess if you don't have any more information about the fella who said I was supposed to be here, you don't know why I'm supposed to be here, and I don't know why I'm supposed to be here. I guess I'm just gonna.
And they like point at the. She like points at the map. But you have. Can I see that, please?
I showed it to you already.
No, but can I see it again? It like seems desperate.
Did you have any more booze around?
Yes, yes, and then like waves at somebody who runs off to find something, anything.
I'm gonna hand him the flask. Can you fill this up? But this one's really important. I want to keep this one.
Keep the flask. Bring me more things. Got it.
And
Runs off.
I like set it next to the mask on the table. But I'm like,
Right, like this is mine.
Yeah.
So one of them, the cartographer person that piped up, takes out almost like a piece of birch, and is going and like marking what you had on the plate there, and
Cool.
then like holding up and looking at it and making sure that it's semi-accurate. And somebody brings back the flask full of what appears to be like a mead of some sort, but it is potent smelling. So then, like, so I asked for your friends and to see if they were out there, and I think they left, but they took the drunk man's cart.
I get all kind of sad. Knew they were gonna leave, and I just like take the scale and
Did
hop
it-
off the table.
Didn't you get one of the barrels?
Oh yeah, booze.
That's waiting for you, from what people said. So, sorry.
And
Hands
I
you the
just
flask.
completely forget what's going on. Grab my scale,
Yep.
and I'm like stuffing it back in my backpack
Yeah.
with like the flask in my hand. So I'm like backpack back on. Off to get the beer.
Are you walking or flying?
I'm walking.
Gotcha.
I'm walking.
Like,
It was a close call with
right?
the floaty
You
ceiling,
jump
so
off
now
the
I'm
table,
like,
and then you just like float
Yeah.
a little too much when you hit the ground, and then just.
and
And
then,
they're all standing there with this now invaluable piece of information that they didn't have before,
perfect,
just dumbstruck by what the hell just happened.
awesome, perfect,
But,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I will go find the barrel.
All right. Yeah.
With the mead in the barrel, I'm sorry, the mead in my flask,
Mm-hmm.
be pretty mediocre compared to what's in that barrel. Yes. I
You'd
like.
be hard pressed to find something
long
that's better
shot.
than this thing. You know what I mean?
Rubbing
Like,
alcohol versus like 120-year-old scotch.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So like, imagine you got the idea of the 120-year-old
Yeah.
Scotch. This is then sealed away for maybe 1,000 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's so long ago that you don't know when. You know what I mean? Like, it hits a point in history where, like, yeah, it's between 1,000 and 4,000. We're not entirely sure when in that area this was made. And has some sort of magical seal on it. So you're like, if something's going to be good, it's going to be this one.
So I kind of like I take a swig of it and then I'm like, book, and I like let it dump out, which I'm like, it's okay, and I fill up my flask from the barrel.
Sure.
And then I look around. I'm like,
There's people, like, looking at you. And
hey, does
you
anybody
just dump the flask of booze behind you and then...
does anybody have a bigger bottle? Like I'm trying to get my jug back. I want a jug.
There you go. Right.
Okay.
And they're, you know, people kind of shuffle around a little bit. And you see at some point Patsy comes out, like, rubbing his forehead, and there's, like, dirt on him. So he looks like he's been moving rocks. And he's like,
Hi, I need a jug. Do you have a jug?
the hell's the donkey?
Huh?
Where's the cart?
What's
Why is all our... What happened? And they're, like, furious. It just starts off angry.
So I was also in a really bad mood a little bit ago, but then I saw some really cute birds in a nest, and they made me not
Where
be so
is our cart?
Wow! Do not
Gilgamesh!
raise your voice to me.
Goes down, and you hear yelling coming from the tube. It's indistinct. But they are not happy in their car. And you look around and you're like, oh yeah, there was a donkey here at one
Anybody have that jug that I was talking about?
Patsy seemed to scare most people off.
Oh.
They're still watching, but not necessarily as attentive.
I don't have anything else on me.
Did you guys take the horses?
We haven't even got to that point yet.
No.
We had just went
My
to
bad.
talk
Apparently
to
this is the
We'll
episode
switch
of
back a
Sunny
little
stuff.
bit
Yeah.
with a little bit of yes, because you guys left the note, and then the intention was leaving.
Yeah.
Correct? Yes.
Yeah, we were
We
gonna
were
go
gonna
talk to the high priestess.
Yes, and she.
She was still around the
Yes,
gentleman.
yes,
Facing
yes. Sorry, the intention was like the high priestess was irritated that you had not already left.
Right, right.
But it doesn't take a lot of convincing to get up and go. Sorry, I just kind of glossed over that.
But yes, I
that
think we would
Awesome.
have taken the horses.
Yeah, went
and
back
the-
to camp.
and the
Yeah.
cart.
Oh yeah, the
Right.
horses are there. You're right, because
Yes.
Patsy brought them. Right. Oh, we
Yeah, yeah.
Patsy had 'em.
So
Okay.
the horses in the cart. So you guys would. This would be, I would say, probably an hour or so after you guys had left.
Okay, Skaba, you drive carts, and then we take horses.
Yeah.
All right.
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably the best option.
And the high
Does the high
priestess has
priest have
her
her own?
yes, has her own horse, and
Have we even had the opportunity to really explain the situation to the high priestess? I
That-
don't feel that
was
we
kind of be an
have.
on the way thing there, which is why I figured I would get through Sunny stuff.
She was
and
wanting
then-
to go back anyway.
Yes.
She just needed to resolve that. We helped
Yeah.
her resolve
Exactly.
that, and now she's going back anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So she's just happy to not be in this woods anymore. that's the big thing. But okay. So where was he going to go with that?
I have a plan. If you
Okay.
just want me
Gotcha.
to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's perfect.
so-
I forgot where I was.
No, that's okay. Since nobody's responding to me with a jug, I'm going to take out my gourd-shaped bottle with
Sure.
the metal thing. I'm going to
Yep.
put as much booze in that as I can.
All right.
I'm going to look at like the shiny gold potion bottle and then the one with the moss and metal and be like, oh, Jayrmi would be mad if I did this, and I'll put them back. And I'll fill up the tube, top off the flask, take a little, like, be like, I'm really not sure what a donkey is, or where the cart thing went, or why you're yelling at me. I really don't like it, but you can just have the rest of this. I'm gonna go now, and I will like mall walk my ass out of there and be like,
Did she notice the note? that we left?
I would have when I went to
Well,
the
yeah,
booze.
as you've been doing that and that kind of thing, you're like, all right, I'm going to leave this, and then see
Okay.
the note kind of.
It's kind of like tucked underneath the
Yeah,
barrel,
so
it
you'd
didn't
be a little
blow away.
distracted by all this, and you're like, oh, no. And now you have that. What does it more or less say? There's a bunch of stuff that
Yeah,
happened.
it was just like we're we have to leave. We're so sorry. We didn't want to leave you, but
Fly, don't fly.
don't fly, don't scratch, scratch, scratch. Straba said fly high. Jayrmi and friends.
Jayrmi and Friends fucking shirt. We gotta make it. I would know which direction they would be.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep,
clear
it's
direction.
The road that you came in on, kind of thing.
Cool. So my plan is to haul ass to try to get into the direction which they were going. When I don't know which way they're going, I'm going to
Sure.
talk to trees to tell me which way they're going.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And then
hope to get to
with
them.
That, be like you can kind of describe you start to figure out how the trees communicate, and it's less descriptive and more like generalizations work best. If you're like, if you describe an individual, they'll be like, I can't tell one person from another. I don't know what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
But then if you're like, 5 people, donkey, cart, horse, and then you're like, oh yeah, that group went by about 15 minutes ago.
Perfect.
It's yep.
And then as I get close to them, I'm going to be super, super sneaky when that happens.
All right.
We'll go from there.
So about 2 hours into the journey or so, go ahead and make a stealth check. So you guys, and then hold on to that for a little bit because we'll get.
Yep.
But you guys were doubling back a little bit on time, and you're starting to move out. You've got the high priestess is like, finally, yes, let's get out of here. This has been aggravating, and that Gilgamesh can, well, hops on the horse.
All right, nice change of pace then. Let's go.
Absolutely. And she kind of the horse that she has is very fine. All of her robes or the tent that she had with her that's packed away. It's not opulent, but it's well made and fits her station. If that makes sense. And as you're going along, she goes, so what am I doing? Why did you need my help?
Jayrmi looks over at Ribos.
Do you want me to take this?
You can start.
Well,
I'll interrupt you. if
You
something's
said
wrong.
Miss Gowan was part of this?
you
I
know
believe?
Miss Gallen then?
Yes.
She is my mentor in the Landwood Town. We need you to, I'm just going to put this bluntly, we need you to preserve a body
Okay.
that
yes.
we are transporting so that
Absolutely, yes, I can do that. And for your help here, we can. I'll waive the fee. That's fine.
that is
Oh, Jayrmi just like wheeze breathes.
that is a major relief.
You've saved me.
Couldn't ask for more.
No, of course. It's it goes to the church, and you have done something for the church. So yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, I guess that was much easier than I thought this discussion was going to be.
Wonderful.
Well, let's ride then.
Is your friend preserved? Are you bringing him to a tomb?
We are bringing them to the Indian town to have them spoken with.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm glad it makes sense to you.
The details are very special. I would have
Okay.
to say we don't
Usually
like
speaking, the dead is, but you know.
don't like talking about this person's status out in the open. So let's leave it at high status individual.
Say no more.
I appreciate your discretion.
Well, gotta try somewhere sometimes.
And I must say I'm not comfortable with any of this, but I am following my mentor's lead in there. What
What
would
makes you
not
uncomfortable?
normally settle well with me.
What makes you uncomfortable?
The dead should remain dead.
Well, they will. You were just speaking to their spirit from beyond. Well,
It seems
good for you.
awfully invasive, and I'm afraid that their spirit will not be able to pass. We keep them here too long, and I'm still not okay. I just kind of start rambling.
Right? Sure.
I'm still not okay with burning these bodies, and I don't understand these traditions. They are
Oh, yes.
part of me, but not what I was raised to understand.
So you were raised orc.
Yes,
That makes sense.
I don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's your people have been difficult to bring around to our ways. But that's not your
What
fault.
makes you think you're right?
I believe in, of course, Brain Toilet, and everything that this stands for, and you folks have your own religion, and that's fine. But here,
Did the orcs not help with Willem and that whole ordeal?
we are allies. I'm not
How
trying
could
to
you say that
disparage.
the orcs are wrong?
I did not. I didn't say anything of the sort.
It's just different.
A difference
Just-
of
she gets
opinion,
real uncomfortable,
rivals.
like real stiff and like courtly, if that makes sense.
This is an objective mission that we have, nothing personal. Right, rivals?
If it must be so, yes.
Thank you. All right.
I'm surprised that you're so adverse to our ways being part of the Landwither.
I'm,
You're a
I am new to
inductee,
this.
correct?
I suppose that is a way to
I
look
might
at
have
it,
explained
yes.
it to you then. The Landwither is named from Saint Landwither. He's one of the Brentwillith knights that she brought with her everywhere. He was the hunter. He was the scout, the tracker, the woodsman. But he was particularly adept at identifying and slaying beasts and monsters. So made this little, akin to a knighthood. You can be anointed, you can be knighted in that organization, but it is part of the Brentwillith Church. Technically, you're part of this church. You're also part of the, government in a way.
That's I can deal with. I didn't understand that it was part of the church. I don't necessarily disagree.
It's not common knowledge, and honestly, there's nothing really connecting them to the church until you hit a certain level of recognition there. But Yzgalin was one. She's technically a knight. She doesn't have any lands, but she could if she wanted to.
She has much honor.
And then she kind of like nods her head back and forth.
You don't seem to agree.
No, she's plenty honorable. Go ahead and make an insight check. Anyone who wants to in that. You guys are all kind of in earshot.
I'm not yet,
I
right?
rolled a 1. I'm just like too overwhelmed with the idea of both heritage contradicting each other.
So you're real hyper focused on the fact that Yzgalin is a knight of this church and didn't mention it once. Like that's a lot. Yzgalin is always presented as kind of not necessarily agnostic, but like yes, I follow the Brentwillith Church, but it's been very she hasn't brought up a lot, and not something you would picture when you think of the Elvish Knights. There's definitely that very, for us, Camelot-esque quality to it. When you have this Yzgalin, who's this ranger, this person who lives in the woods for the most part, isn't exactly a person of means, while knights typically are. Yeah. So yes, about 2 hours in, what'd you roll?
I was rolling stealth.
So, yes, correct.
Oh my gosh! I should.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
No, it's okay. I shouldn't have picked that up. 18.
18. Everyone, what's your passive perceptions?
Much lower than that.
Yes.
15.
Hey, there you go.
Oh.
All right. So, come floating up nice and quiet. Pretty easy. They're all facing one direction. There's a cart, that's a lot of things happening.
I would like to sneak into the cart, like between barrels, to be unseen.
Sure, yeah. You land behind.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fucking take a nap.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Alright.
That was a long way.
So, priestess, tell me this.
Uh-huh.
If the Brentwillith, if your rights are correct,
Mm-hmm.
and the Orcish rights are correct,
Okay.
how can that be?
It's,
If they are both okay to do, then to me they would both also not be okay to do. Does that make sense? Like,
I suppose.
if they are both right, then they are also both wrong, so neither is correct.
well, I think it comes down to where the gods come in. Because if our gods in dwelleth say burn, then we burn. Your gods and your culture say bury, then you bury. I would not burn an orc no more than you would bury an elf.
Jeremy's like,
It's very awkward.
Yes. Oh, I hear what you were saying, I think. So it's individualized?
Maybe. I know that the church teaches that in order to free the soul, you must burn the body. But other churches say different things. And we have more or less confirmed that there are different gods. Or at least there's different belief systems and people have power in them. Like I can preserve a dead body. So then we can get it to a tomb without it rotting while we move it. But there's the gentleman that, the clergyman that runs the tankard and staff. He can do something very similar. And he worships a dwarvish god.
Okay. Now, one more question, if I can.
Of course, yes.
This way you go about speaking to the dead.
Mhm.
If say an individual was to hear the voices of the dead outside of such a ritual,
Okay.
would it be the same channel of energy? Would it still be
Well,
real? Is it possible?
that could be the work of demons. That is also a possibility. And it's voices and heads. And she just kind of puts her hands up.
Jeremy like looks over at
Rivos just gets really quiet.
There's more
Fascinating.
things out beyond our world than we care to know. And if you told me that somebody was speaking to ancestors, then either they could be some form of divine medium, or there could be something more nefarious going on. We're not entirely sure. I would have to talk to them specifically. Do you know such a person?
I go from nodding slowly and kind of staring off to the distance to shaking my head.
No, it's just theoretical.
Go ahead and make a deception for me.
The mysteries of the world, aren't we right?
I do it with advantage because Jeremy's trying to. I'm assuming
Defer
just
to a
change
different
the
I rolled a
subject.
16 both times.
There you go.
Plus 3, so 19.
She definitely is curious, but doesn't seem to be painting it like it's you. You know, like you probably know somebody at some point. But it's also, you could be talking about my cousin Jim. You know what I mean? That's some guy somewhere that talked to dead people. That's not anywhere near here. So it's one of those like, well, I can't do anything about this, so I'm just gotta back off.
I just like clam up after that and
Sure.
ride in silence.
All right. So you guys ride for a while. You break for lunch, and in order to get the food that you guys have, it's in the cart. I would assume. So you see little Sonny just curled up, asleep.
Looks like she got a note.
You
Good
do
work,
see,
Jeremy.
you do see
I
the
want to
note.
do many
like,
things
just
that are unpleasant to
hugged
this creature
in-
right now.
sorry. I'm getting a feel for everyone's character now,
Yeah,
so now
I would cherish them.
so has the note and is sleeping with it.
They really love me.
It's like open, like she was reading it and then fell asleep.
Only if she would believe the words I speak sometimes, it would just be a lot easier. But I guess if I write them down, they're more important.
I don't know, but it works.
All right, and
Well,
actually
the
for
numbers.
now, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back here in 10 minutes or 7 minutes, or whatever the number is now. I don't know.
80 billion.
Break time, yay!
Bye. And welcome back. Where we left off, Sunny was napping in the cart, and everyone just found her.
Rivals, you do not want me to wake her. I will not be nice.
Look how cute she is.
Cute. Oh, I have to walk away.
Is that your friend?
Yes.
I didn't realize
Kind of.
she left her behind. Oh, anyway.
Oh, no, she left us, and so we had to leave. That's how that happened.
Aw, Jayrmi's mad at me.
And then, yeah, I pop back up on my horse, and I'm just like, all right, let's go.
So the priestess hops down, and she's like, "Oh, we were stopping for lunch."
Oh, right. I was back up, just like wanting to leave the situation, just like, all right, let's go. I'm mad. I'm going to sit on my horse.
If no one wakes Sunny up, it's up to you if you want to wake up.
I'm just gonna let her sleep. I'll jump down off the cart and go lean
It's a
up against
depression.
a tree and pull out something to eat.
Munch away.
It's a depression sleep.
Depression.
Yeah, that works. You do feel as you're sitting down for lunch and what have you, it's very calm on this road, and you know, a lot of nature around. You're nearing the end of this leg of this particular journey. Ramos, give me a wisdom check.
Not very great. 11.
All right, you do hear that buzzing noise that has been emanating from somewhere.
I'm a little intimidated by it right now, so I'm doing my best to kind of actually ignore it.
Sure.
Like, I hear it, but I'm not trying to tune in.
Makes sense. Yeah, and it doesn't get any louder or any quieter. It just that whole time there. But yeah, all right. You guys pack up lunch and what have you, and get back on the cart and head on down the road.
Mark off a day's rations.
Yes. Yeah. And the rest of the road is pretty calm, pretty relaxed. And anyone want to chat on the way?
I'm notoriously silent for a very relatively silent person.
Sure.
Jayrmi is kind of muttering to herself a little bit. She's a little upset, just like frustrated. Just like, I don't know why nobody ever listens to me. Whenever I talk about something, everybody gets get mad at Jayrmi. Oh, Jayrmi this, Jayrmi that. What about Sunny? What about her being mean? Nobody cares about what Jayrmi thinks, and just that,
Right,
just
just
muttering to
anger
her,
the whole
speaking to herself.
Sure. Shkaba?
No, I'm just kind of like leaning back. I know Sonny's in the back, so I can't be too loud. But I'm just leaning back, making sure the
Like
donkey's
not
doing
even
his
hands
thing.
on the reins, just
Yeah,
like,
I got the reins clamped with one of my talons.
Sure.
And
Hey,
I'm
there
just,
you go.
I'm just,
Oh,
just
nice.
hanging back,
Awesome.
just whistling away.
Sure. Yeah, and the donkey is very well behaved. Just it's like, oh, this is a road. Got it.
I know
Okay,
where
boss. Just go. Well, yeah, you guys are able to make it to the city without any issues, and should I meet you at the temple?
Yeah. Should we bring the
Potatoes.
I mean, go for it.
potatoes? We've been calling them potatoes. Just
Sure. Yeah. Well, I was
keep
saying dead
things-
body. I
yes.
understand. Yes, that makes sense.
thank you for understanding.
So get top of the guards, and if you do bring them to the temple, we'll talk.
We will be there very soon.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
How did your friend pass, by the way?
It was shady.
It was quick, very quick.
That too.
We should probably discuss this in a more private setting. I would feel more comfortable.
Okay. Very well.
I think Isgalan would be best person to really explain the entire situation.
That would be best. Yes.
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 All right, we'll go get her and we'll be back.
Wonderful. And then she seems a little more stiff, and then kind of goes to the temple and what have you.
Okay. So, do we get the potatoes first? Or should we drop off the cart? Well, we're gonna have to find a place to put our barrels. Is Sunny still sleeping?
Cheers.
Sorry.
We're gonna make another wisdom check with advantage.
I love that they're like caring enough to like they're so mad at me, but they're like, let her rest. With advantage, you said,
Yes.
and you said perception?
No,
Wisdom, 15.
15. You hear the clinking scales of a figure that is deep in your memory.
Oh.
And almost like this slow shrink, as if they're walking noise. And it happens for a long time. And then you see one of the pinpricks on your little scale, like almost superimposed, light up. And then there's more walking, and then there's another one. And then another one that's way off to the side, and then another one up here, another one over there. And just flicking on and off kind of thing.
Like, to be clear, this is the dots of the map.
Yes,
Illuminating, okay.
Yep, and yeah. Just kind of in your dream state and all that.
Is the sequence the same as they flash? Okay.
No,
sorry.
it's random. It's everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, every one of the 17 dots does get pinged, but it's not even remotely close to each other sometimes. And
Okay.
sometimes it is, and yeah, that kind of thing.
Noise.
All right. So you guys, are you dropping off the cart first, or what are you doing?
Well, we need to find a place to store our own barrels, so I think
What-
maybe we should go to the landlord's here first.
I do have these, and coming out of my backpack actually, these papers of ownership for the barrels, if that means anything, but
You think they'd store it at the temple for us? Maybe?
potentially, or maybe
Why-
Isgalin's friends could keep it for us, maybe even the cart and everything while we get situated.
I mean, if we unload, we could use the cart for the potatoes.
So the cart would for sure fit the potatoes and the
A
barrels
little
and all
more
of you.
inconspicuous.
It's a pretty
That's-
big car, so we can just throw everything inside of it,
Hell, you could put the horses inside. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. It's don't put the horses. They don't like being in carts.
Bigger on the inside.
Well, I think we can arrange it in a way where we can take everything with us. That's fine, but
Let's go to the landlord's here then.
agreed. Yes, Rivals.
All right, just head on over there, and there is kind of an area off to the side you're able to pull over to, and then you see there's the gnome that's standing there, and he's sitting there talking with a dwarf and, well, two dwarves, and just kind of shooting the shit a little bit. And then he sees you coming and he goes,
Hail!
"Hello."
Hello. We are back for our supplies.
Head on in.
Thank you. Cart and horse.
Just leave it. And he just turns over and he's talking with the guys again, and the two dwarves seemed irritated.
All right.
They're just,
Well, Sunny's in there. Should be fine, right?
we have business. Go.
All right. We're going. I guess we're gonna go.
Someone stay out here with
I'll,
the cart.
I'll stay with the car.
All
I'll watch
right.
the car.
Yes, we'll make this quick. I promise, Shkaba.
Anything okay out here?
Yeah, it's fine. These guys trying to pull me over a barrel here. We need this done. Now. It's not for the price you're asking.
I'll look at the dwarves. Do they have any Lamberts or badges on
No,
themselves?
no, they do not.
Okay.
They appear to be some form of merchant class people. You know what I mean? Like they're dressed well enough, but not as much as the nobles. But you can clearly see that they have a pouch of gold on them. But you know for a fact that that's like a decoy pouch. You know what I mean? Like that's just a little bit of their money, rather than they're keeping the rest of it somewhere else. Yeah.
As I walk by, is it a gnome? Is it the gnome?
Yeah, gnome standing there. Yep.
Uh,
Little skunk pelt.
very quite obviously, so the dwarves can hear me. Like stop, turn my head and stare at them, and tell them,
If you need any help negotiating, I'll be right inside.
And he kind of shrugs and looks over and goes, "I don't know what to tell you, boys." And as you guys are kind of going in, they're just grumpy about it.
All right. Well, we have our own business to discuss.
indeed. I'll go.
I'll follow Ribos' lead in.
All right.
Oh, just open the door.
Yeah. Well, yep. And then inside there's a few different mercenaries kind of hanging out in there that are part of the land with her. And, they don't really pay you much mind when you walk in. A little bit to Jayrmi because you don't look it. Do you wear any armor?
Nope.
Well, you do have the helmet on.
I have the
So I
helmet
guess-
on, and I have like a leathery vest.
Gotcha. So you do get less looks actually because you're wearing a helmet. So they're like, "Yeah, mercenary, got it." And then just
Sweet.
moving on.
Perfect.
But
I kind
yeah,
of
so
like
you guys
stand up behind Ribos pretty tall.
head on in, and then you see the person that was behind the desk before that Galen was talking to was like, has a almost more or less a sandwich. It's like a loaf of bread with the stuff shoved into it, and she's biting. It's all like a bread bowl but filled with meats, and just.
Walk over.
You here for your
Yes, our supplies.
supplies? Yes.
Is our friend still here?
And goes over and it pulls out some keys and unlocks the door.
Walk in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You see his Gollum is just like almost like falling asleep, sitting at a table. She's got the thing next to her, and it's smelling pretty badly in here. It's not so great. But what you got to do? It's been almost 10 days. His corpse hanging out in the sun.
He's gone. Wake up. We need to bury these potatoes.
You
You know what I mean?
Nope. Yep. I understand.
Burn them.
You found her?
Yes, we are to meet her at her place of business.
Okay.
You don't look.
And as she picks it up, you hear almost like a slosh noise.
It's like a.
I am trying really hard not to pay attention because I'm sleeping.
All right. But yep, it has it up on her shoulder, and he goes, we should go.
All right. Very good. Very good. Yes.
And, yep.
They should be ready when we arrive.
And then heads out over and plops the thing onto the cart very loudly. It does wake Sunny up because she just.
Oh.
Let's go.
Jump on my horse.
She hops into the back of the cart and pulls out her sword and kind of has it sitting on her lap.
All right.
I'm super groggy. Like, it disturbed me. They
Sure,
didn't
sure.
like
Right.
jump.
Yeah, it was a body thrown under the cart, so whatever that would do to Sunny.
And I think it's like a big bump because that's like deep sleeping.
Right.
No, you wouldn't.
And you see the dwarves are now yelling in Dwarvish at the guy, like upset.
I don't speak.
I'm gonna stay in like my little cubby.
You do, don't you? Yes,
Dwarves?
because the that's where your people are kind of from, is the Dwarvish lands. Or at least your people, not all of your people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would be like you have your own, Aarakocra language, and then you also have the language around the area where that's what people trade in. Is either halfling or dwarf. You have halfling, Aarakocra, anything else?
I have Elvish.
Elvish, gotcha. Okay. Throw dwarvish in there as well because that would have been more prevalent where you were from, and then moving out from there, kind of thing.
Okay, I put like Dwarvish-ish.
Dwarvish-ish.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. All right.
We can assume the odor is very potent under, like,
It's-
it's on top of the
You-
barrels and I'm underneath.
You smell, well, the cart's large enough where the barrels are sitting there, you're kind of jambled in there somewhere.
Okay.
And then this thing can sit off to the side.
Okay.
But it does, you can tell that there's something not right, but then it's also covered with what smells like different herbs and things like that to cover the smell.
I see.
But it's, if somebody was very unbathed, or very sickly, that kind of thing,
Okay.
it wouldn't be like, that's a corpse, just by walking by. But if you opened up the bag, very likely you'd be like, that is a corpse.
Ugh.
Smell.
So start riding off toward the temple
Yes.
district.
Sure. Yeah.
we
No,
go.
you guys make it there without any issues and are able to come up to the temple itself. It doesn't have a place to put this cart, so you guys do what you want with that. But you also are right next to the Tavern and Staff, which is the temple of the traveling banker.
Oh well. Maybe it's time to part ways. We may with the cart, right?
Do we have time to deal with that right now?
Well, we can drop off the cart, and then if you don't mind, or as Galen doesn't mind carrying them just across the way.
I can carry him. That's fine.
All right. I did.
What about the barrels?
Well, I mean,
What barrels? Why do you have barrels?
well,
Where'd you get the cart?
We'll
All
tell
right.
you when we have time.
Gilgamesh won't be back for a while,
Who's
so we'll come
Gilgamesh?
back and grab our barrels off the cart when we're done.
The hell did you
I have
people
the
do?
ownership right here.
What? Ownership of what?
We helped the high priestess so she could return here and take care of our business.
You gotta
Leave it
read
at that for right now.
You got a written of ownership for
These
art?
barrels.
Barrels.
What's so special about the barrels?
They're very, very old liquor.
Holy artifact.
Yes, they're considered holy artifacts.
Green gold.
Good?
No.
She like kind of tilts it over a little bit and looks around.
They are God.
Ancred. This church of the tankard and staff.
The hell did you? What?
You're asking way too many questions
Fine.
in so little time here.
The trouble the high priestess was having was with this person,
It's
Gilgamesh,
fine. I don't need to know.
from
Just
this church.
get rid of the cart.
All
She
right.
picks up the body.
Card to the temple. I have the ownership right here. If there's anything that happens, then maybe this will help. But for now, we have more important business, in my
Are we
opinion.
just going to tie this cart up out here?
It's like in the middle of the road. People are walking around.
Well, by the church or by the bar, I mean the place of worship.
The bar.
I'm
You're not wrong.
very not formal about it. Look, we're running out of time. I say just put the cart over there, tie it to something, and then we take the potatoes and then we go do our business and we'll come back for the barrels.
Scabba, can you go tie this up? I'm going to go inside real quick.
And I like go inside
Right.
my staff and tankard.
Right?
I will wait out
is
inside.
walking away with the corpse.
Oh,
anyone
I
else
will
is
go with her then.
going
No.
corpse ways. Going.
The corpse is going
Saying
somewhere.
goodbye and going inside. All right, we'll start with you first. So you come running inside. Oh,
Do I recognize the same person I saw
okay.
before?
Oh yeah.
Hi, remember me?
Sure.
I have some holy artifacts of your church.
Great.
They're in a cart outside. The cart belongs to Gilgamesh. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Gilgamesh.
The 4 barrels in it belong to me and my companions. We have writs of ownership. Can you watch them until we come back in a couple hours?
Writs of ownership from who?
From Gilgamesh.
Bring him in, please. Holy artifacts.
Duh.
Wait, no, he found something?
I go stomping out, it's like slam the door open.
The guy comes running out. He goes, wait, he found something? And comes running up to the car. And then looks at what you're about to pick up, and he's like,
There's more where this came from. Gilgamesh is there with them.
what?
Yes, but these are ours, so don't take them.
No,
If you want them, you can pay us now.
That he is.
yeah, what do you want?
How much you got?
1,000 gold apiece.
Give me more.
Make a persuasion roll.
I just like, yeah.
Hardcore. Just right into it.
I love it so much.
Do it.
Awesome.
Yes,
Do
please.
it.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's only a 10.
And he's like, what do you want? 2.
2,000 apiece.
A piece, yes.
Jayrmi!
And you're like a block almost away. Like not even. Like you went like 4 buildings down, and then you
I
can
watch
see
Stalin
Jayrmi.
go
And she's just
in.
like,
No.
very bad at not
No,
drawing
go.
attention to each other.
Go.
It's just
All right. All right. I'll come back.
I'm just like waving my hand.
Yes, all right, boss.
I'll bend down and whisper in your ear.
Hey, this guy wants to give us. I started at $1,000 a barrel, and then Scabba tried to barter with him. Now he wants to give us 2,000. I think we can get more if you want to help him.
he's like has his arms crossed, staring at him, tapping his foot. He's like,
Well, and Jeremy's
So
gonna.
I will like super formally introduce you.
This is Jayrmi, the speaker of the 3 Rivers tribe.
I'm a wing spread
She
behind.
has the rest of ownership for these barrels. She will
I do.
close this deal with you.
They're right here.
Gilgamesh is a fool.
Well, he's our fool, so.
What would you like for these?
4,500.
Now we have. And she looks over. It's like,
He like shoots an eye at you and then looks
have
back.
gone through a lot of trouble. It just wasn't a gift, necessarily.
That's all well and good. It's
There's
yours. I
a
understand.
lot of time and effort went into it, and she starts to get a little bit more like, listen to me when I'm talking
All
to
right,
you.
1,000 gold. I'll take them right now. I'll
A
get
thousand
I'll get
gold.
them
You
on
just offered my friend too.
It will take me some time to get 2,000 apiece.
Well, then you get that
You will not
money
have
and then
any
we get-
trouble.
I can't understand when we both talk at the same time. I'm sorry.
I I'm like, she starts to kind of stumble, but she's like, okay, listen. Take it off her hands for 5 apiece.
Go ahead and make a persuasion. But he's definitely like,
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Could've used it.
yeah.
Alright, that'll probably do that. We'll see here. Persuasion. 24.
Jesus.
Yes.
And he just like,
Okay, well, we will be on our way. We're on a time frame.
Just hold on. Just let me think.
Alright.
You have 3 of these?
No, we have 4.
Where's the
We
4th?
have 3. We have.
We have another
3.
one on the way. We
Okay.
told you, my friends have informed me that there was another one on the way that Gilgamesh have. If you want me to sell that one too.
Go ahead and make a deception. This is not true.
I know. As soon as Shikama is
We
like,
do have 4. Yes.
Sonny, you're awake and you're like, ah,
damn it.
shit.
I'm like under the barrels still going, are they going to take my booze?
It's a
I
15.
think
I'm
they're.
gonna walk
15.
over to the cart
Yes.
and start counting.
I'll pay for what you got. All
You
right.
don't even- you
Once
don't-
the other stuff gets here, we can do something about that.
Yeah, her barrel's not even here.
Why don't you come with me?
This,
We'll go down to the bank right
frustrated,
now.
pay
We'll do the
attention.
exchange. I don't care which one of you it is.
Go to the bank, do an exchange. But again, we're on a time
I
frame.
understand that, but I don't have 5,000 apiece. on me.
I'm coming with
Write
you.
us an
I-
IOU.
I-
No, that's what I'm saying.
gonna-
If I go to a bank, I can get the money out from the.
Jeremy
checks
made the
account.
deal.
We can
Jeremy
do
will
that.
go. You two go take care of our other business. I will be right back.
Are you going to be okay?
Of course. The
Don't-
deal is already made.
Okay, fine. Don't let this one take advantage of you.
Oh, don't you worry about me, Ribos.
Yeah, don't let her take it. Me
She
take
got a
advantage of
book.
her, not the
Remember,
other.
she can do it. She got a book.
Come on! And he's like starts
Yes.
very angrily.
Right, I'm following right
Marching
behind
over.
him and look back and just nod my head and continue.
I peek out.
Like I'm standing on the cart now.
Where's that 4th barrel?
Hi.
Sonny, good
I'd
morning, day, afternoon.
Go over.
You've been asleep for
Oh,
hours.
I'm up.
Like,
And I put
you're not
my-
gonna sleep tonight. This is your long rest.
I'm gonna put my hand on his knee. Sorry about your knee.
It's fine.
Are you guys trying to sell my booze? Well, I guess it's not mine because my barrel was over at the thing. I couldn't carry it by myself. I had to leave it there. It seemed like they were gonna get really angry with me too.
We brought them all with us.
Well,
No, remember you left the one of Sonny's. You like just plopped it on the ground and we
and you
put a
left
note
this
on
really great note.
Tap the
Right.
thing.
And I hold out the note.
it. So you yelled, you were
See?
Sonny.
Crappy goblin
right.
handwriting.
Actually, no, you're very proficient with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause you-
nice.
you've
I mean,
got
I do
scribes.
that, but I was
Yeah.
thinking proficient goblin, like
Sure, sure.
maybe can actually write being the proficient.
It'll
but
look
it's
like
nice.
this.
Proficient in chicken scratch.
It's very nice. It is
I
nice.
feel like Goblin would have a lot of, like, it would use the alphabet of multiple languages.
Right. So it's
Whichever
like
one's
some
the easiest
sharps
to
and some
write.
It looks like
curves.
a ransom note.
Yes.
Magazine.
It's just whatever's the easiest one to write. Like, if the L on
A
one
little
thing
bit
is
of
like
gnome, a little bit
4
of elf, a
squiggles,
little
the
bit of
other has
halfling.
one.
Right.
Well, you use the one. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, that was right. That was.
You're good.
You didn't bring the barrel with you? Do you realize we're getting 5,000 gold apiece?
I do this.
What about the bag you have? I've seen you put big things in that bag. I don't understand it.
I think there's a limit to the bag. I mean, I've never seen a bag like that myself, but just looking at it myself, I would not be able to fit in there.
Could you
And
fly
I fit in
back
the
and
barrel.
get the barrel? It's 5,000 gold. I've never seen that much money in my entire life.
We could take the wagon back and go get it. There's nothing in the wagon now.
But the potatoes.
It's Goblin.
Yes, I know. The potatoes.
He's got one like has it in his.
He's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
the potatoes though. She's got a horse, and she put it on the horse.
Yeah, but we should be there. At least I should be there. This is part of my duty.
Are we
Okay.
supposed to sell? Like, it was a gift to us. Is it going to like the right people? Cause like, it's really good, and I kind of want to like. It's yummy. I don't want to have to give it up.
I mean, I suppose yours is yours to do with as you wish. I would
Right,
much rather have the
but mine
5,000 gold than the
actually-
gold booze.
It's in another town, and I kind of had to give it away because it was Gilgamesh, yes.
Maybe we
Sorry,
can
what?
go
It was
back. and get-
Gilgamesh or his
Patsy.
assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Patsy looked like he was really gonna get mad at me, so I had to go in a hurry, and I just told him he could have the rest of the barrels. So
Yeah, Patsy was pissed because the cart was gone.
yeah. Did you leave them a nice note like you left me?
I don't remember.
Yes, we did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Patsy did not see
Ja-
them.
Jeremy wrote.
Alright, weird. He was so mad then.
Patsy jumped straight into anger and never looked for a note.
You know, he should not jump to conclusions. You know, we told him what was up, but no.
Don't know what was up.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if it's a good thing for us to sell because it was a gift.
I mean, he gave it to me, so I do with it what I want,
I feel the same way.
and I want to sell it.
And you can do with what you want with yours. Like leave it
I
behind.
already
yes.
told you that I don't have mine. I had to give it away because you guys didn't leave a note.
What we did.
But we did.
So
yes.
you chose to do what
He
you
didn't know
wanted
that
to
you
do with
left me
yours. And of course, you don't have it. And
Isgalon is now in the temple.
I must go attend to Isgalon. And
Sure.
I'm like,
You go.
You could.
I take care of the barrels. Don't worry.
All right. You
You
did
get
a
your
great
money.
job. Thank you for bartering for that. I would have never imagined it was worth that much.
Neither would I.
I know. I have never seen that much.
While on the way over there, he's like, all right, so we can do this, but I also have other things, just throwing it out there, magic things. If you wanted to look at those, as he's like walking away.
I don't know no magic.
No, but it's like magic's, you don't have to know, it just
But I do. I did want to talk to you while we are walking, just to let you know, and taking out the ownership papers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ownership papers.
Yeah, but you only have 3 barrels.
Yes, but I have 4 ownership. You can talk
That's
it
fine.
over with Gilgamesh. He's the person that
That's
signed
fine.
this.
That's fine.
So-
Like I understand that, but if I don't have it in my hand, I'm not going to give you 5,000 gold.
Isn't
for it.
having a paper of ownership, having it in your
Not
hand?
if it's smashed down the road.
That's Gilgamesh's problem then.
No, it's my problem.
I told-
I'm the one
I told
running the
him to
church.
take care of
Gilgamesh
it.
doesn't have access to the funds for a reason.
Jeremy knows she's not getting anywhere, and she's like, "All right, fine. Well, then we'll have to negotiate the other 5,000
That's
later,
fine.
and actually maybe with an interest because it's kind of a waste of my time at this point." But
But yeah, he attempts to try and like describe these fantastical items to you, but I'm assuming just shuts down.
yep,
over and
Jeremy
over.
is just like, "No, I don't know what you talk about. No, I don't know anything about magic. No."
He pulls up to a bank, and it takes a little. It's going to take a bit for this to happen, but more or less, he will give you essentially an IOU from the bank, kind of. So a bank note. So you don't have to carry around 5,000 gold worth of stuff for
Perfect.
each thing. But yeah, he doesn't. He does attempt to while he's in there. He's like, all right, and he writes out the thing and hands it to you, and each of them are for 3,000.
Oh no,
There
I'm
you go.
sorry. That's not the correct amount.
But this is what I can do.
Oh, then we don't have a deal, and I'm sorry. And she's gonna start walking out of the bank.
Go ahead and make an intimidation.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean,
Good.
oh, it's a 15.
You
That's
go,
not bad.
4,000.
Walks a little slower.
45. That's my final offer. And
Deal.
she's gonna.
Perfect.
All right.
And then she writes some new ones and hands it off to you. But yeah, so 4,500
A piece.
Yeah.
All right.
each one of them. Yep. So
Solid.
1,000. Sorry, 13,500. Yep. It's a bunch of money. Yeah. So when Greg was like, I'm going to give you one each, I was like, this is functionally priceless. Like, 1,000-year-old booze that is guaranteed to be good. Like, but yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
It's got
Ask for
way
platinum
more
pieces.
gold than you have any reason to have.
And she is gonna start booking it back. Like,
Right?
she's like sweating and shaking, and she's just like, ugh, and she's like walking down the road with this banknote and her
Awesome.
like backpack.
Oh yeah. So this, all of the, there's all of the banks in this region. This, the Ventrillith Empire will honor these things, but it's hard to sell or buy things with it until you like exchange things out, and then there's exchange rates and things like that depending on where you're at. So it's you guys have that amount of money, but it's like locked in crypto. Like,
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like it's
Well, there
hard
was
to
definitely
access
no
a
way I
little
could
bit.
carry thousands and thousands of gold by myself. So this actually
But
works
if
out.
you're able to buy things that are valuable, that and this also is it's one note, so
Oh.
it's hard to. It's not like 13,500 single dollars.
Right,
It's
right.
Just one like, hey, this is official.
One,
and-
don't lose it.
Yeah,
Background.
magically
Right.
sealed kind of thing,
Right.
where they can tell it's theirs, but if you lose it or if you want to break that down, you'll have to figure out a way to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Theoretically, you have access to that amount of money.
All right.
All right. So you guys with the carts, what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna start unloading the booze off of
Sure.
it.
Yeah, pretty easy. 3 barrels. Just put them onto the porch and.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm I guess ride around until I find like a decent parking spot for it.
It depends on. Do you want to leave it with the church or do you want to leave it just somewhere?
Well, no, I'll leave it with the church.
Okay.
I'll make sure
So
we
you're
leave it
able
with
to
the church. That's a little
Kind of
note.
ad hoc parking spot for it. You just basically hitch up the. You like back the cart up manually and hitch up the donkey. So then you're able to kind of put it into a spot where it's not in anyone's way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not convenient for them.
That is perfectly fine.
But
Works for me.
What if you leave another note and you just put property of Gilgamesh and then they'll think it's his fault and not ours.
That's what I was gonna do.
Good, great idea.
Take
Sure.
a dagger out and start etching it on the side.
property of Gilgamesh on the side of the fucking cart. Awesome.
Spell
All
his
right.
name wrong.
Yeah, right. It's all like slanted. Like,
Incredible. All right, so at the temple, Yizgalan has come in and hadn't, like, there's some people walking around and stuff like that, and just walks past them, goes to the side area that you guys have gone in, and you're like, you had to run up to catch up to this, but you're able to see her turning the corner as you're coming into the room, kind of thing. So she's turning down the hallway that you guys went down to one of those private rooms, and keeps walking down that hallway.
As I'm trying to catch up to her,
You see
I'm
people are like,
characteristically apologetic. Like,
I'm sorry. You wait till you hear what happened. It's awesome.
just like people like just getting it the hell out of your way.
Just-
And
sorry,
then Yizgalan is like
I'm
power
not trying
walking.
to shirk my duties.
And she goes, what?
Never mind. I'm just here. Whatever you need.
Fine, just and opens up one of the doors, and it's a second cathedral-y looking thing. It looks like this is not a private one, but a special one. If that makes sense. Like there's the main one that everyone does stuff at, and then there's this one. It's smaller but opulent. And she comes over, and there's a almost like an altar-ish thing laying along the back wall, like a stone slab almost, with a little prayer kneeling pad. And then over top of it, there's Brentwillith holding a blade above the fire, just like out there, and green flame coming up around it. And then there are, on either side, 6 different people all standing there in various state of armor and robes and different outfits and things like that, but they all look elvish. They're all statues. This appears to be what you've known as there's the 12 Brentwillith Knights kind of thing. This is the originals kind of thing. So each of them have a knighthood associated with it in a way, like it's part of the church kind of thing. It's like almost like saints, but it's only these ones, and there will be none added kind of thing. And you know one of their names, but you're not sure which one. It's Landwitter, because you just found that out. But past that, you can go ahead and make a religion check if you'd like, to figure out some of those names.
Yeah. Ooh.
You and I are still outside,
still, like-
right? We're not with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
as I'm looking though and not recognizing any of the faces, I'm gonna like start looking at the armor
Sure.
and see if I can pick up
Yeah.
any that are a familiar pattern to the armor that I have found.
Okay.
That I've been carrying with me.
Oh, you mean the
The
orcish armor?
orcish half.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation.
Big hitter.
use my inspiration
Sure.
to roll worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 was
10.
straight 10.
There, you don't see anything that looks similar. They have very unique sets of armor, and they're like you almost can. You're like it might be ceremonial. You know what I mean? You're like I don't know how accurate this is, kind of thing, just based on somebody who knows armor. And yeah, Yizgalan unceremoniously dumps the No, it doesn't dump. She like charges into the room and then gingerly lays the body down. But it's very, I don't care who's in my way about this. And you see coming up from behind you, the high priestess comes huffing and running. She goes, "What are you doing?" You didn't. Yizgalan turns on you. She goes, "You need to shut the door. We need to talk." And she's like, "Okay," and goes in and shuts it gently. "Okay, what's going on?" And Yizgalan like rubs her forehead and she goes, "This is very important that no one finds out about this. If anyone finds out about this, we'll have a problem. And it'll be bigger than just us." She goes, "Okay, what did you do?" And she's like, no. It's not what someone else did. And I don't know if the word has reached around yet. I have a feeling they'll keep it quiet because they weren't able to find the body. But," and she pulls the bag portion off of the head, and then this semi-bloated, like, the neck portion of it is still pulled back, and it's slightly bulged out because of that. It's gotten a grayish color to it.
Most of the time she's like,
And it looks like it's post-mortem bruised everywhere. There's just black and blue spots, and then just like cuts on the skin from it just being slammed around places. And it's
Yeah.
grotesque, really.
Treated like a bag of potatoes.
Definitely.
10 days.
So she like pulls the thing down enough to get to that, but then it starts to stick, and then she stops, and then the high priestess is just staring. She goes, "Okay, who is this?" And then upon looking at it again, Ribos, you don't recognize this corpse. I mean, like you know that this is the right corpse, but like. Eek.
Yeah, it's a mess.
And then Yizgalan kind of like pulls back a little bit and looks at you and like seems unsure as to how to react to the situation and pauses for a moment.
Tell her.
This is the heir to the throne. And the high priestess looks at it, looks back. "Are you sure?"
Look at his long ears. I know the skin is grayed, but it still has that blue tint to it. Look at
And
it.
she like just points up at her long ear with the bluish tint. "This could be, it's probably a noble. How do you know it's him?" She goes, "We were there."
I'll use like my bag and reach in and pull out the silver mask.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, it's part of the Silver Mask Church, I'm guessing. Right down the road.
The assassin who killed the Prince Regent was wearing such a
The
mask.
musicians? They're not assassins. They're musicians and actors and jugglers. The religion is based on merriment. What are you talking about? They're not assassins.
I mean, one does not denote the other not being true.
I suppose, but
I am both an orc and an elf.
Okay. She's, I can preserve this, but it's getting close. This
We
is
told you it was
it's-
close.
okay. Well, are you sure this is the heir? This
There is,
because we were there.
and there is no way that this body would have been able to been switched. We have had it in our possession the entire time.
Yizgalan, just do the ritual, please, so we can move on. She's like, if this is the heir, then I have to tell the local lord. I mean, he'd string me up Like if they found out that the corpse of the heir to the throne came through here and I didn't say anything. The church is part of the government. I have to let them know. And Isgallen shakes her head and she goes, I knew this is a mistake.
As part of the government and the church, is it not your duty to protect all of the people and the citizens?
Yes.
If you tell anyone about this until we can discover who the assassin is, everyone is in danger.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Big hitter.
I can't roll. I can't roll. 11.
She shakes her head and she goes, I don't know. I don't see how that would. I'll just tell just the Lord, and then that way no one else will know. But I have to let them know.
You don't think they will tell everyone?
Why would they?
I mean, at the high level anyway. This guy was concerned about war breaking out if the news is...
And she's like, it has. Somebody attacked Luria.
This all happened at the same time.
He was in Luria?
Yes.
How was he in Luria? That doesn't make any sense.
Visiting the Count.
He was supposed to be. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. They're trying to hide where he was, but they were training him to take over.
I know nothing of that.
They send you around to different places, but he wasn't supposed to be there. He was supposed to be towards the Dwarven lands.
Well, he was with Count Walgriff in Luria.
Who?
Is Walgriff...
Oh, Walgriff. Yes, yes, yes.
Kieran
No, he's
Gwyn-
food of a man.
Kieran.
But it's, yeah, no,
Yes. I don't care for him, or didn't care for him, as well either.
I don't know if I can keep this from them.
What good will it do to tell them?
It's not my place. I'm.
So the point of preserving this body is to get information from the dead Prince Regent. Can you at least allow us time to do that? And you can then, if we share that information with you, you can tell the whole story.
Yasgalan goes, we should take him to another church if she's not going to do this now.
We don't have time, right?
We can go to another one. She goes, no. I will preserve him, and I already know, so there's no sense in leaving.
That's the most logical statement I've heard in this conversation.
I have to tell the Lord after this, though. I will give you a little bit of time to leave, but they may send men to find him, I suppose. I have to let him know. I don't have a choice.
Do you have to let him know who we are and where
No.
we're going?
I don't have to let you know that. I can omit the Landwitters were involved. And I'll say that they saw you come in. If anyone recognizes his dollar, they'll know that I'm involved. We have a past.
They don't know what we brought in with us. It's a sack of potatoes.
You charged into this room. And she kind of points around and goes, this is the inner sanctum here. This
We'll
is...
just tell them we were looking for the kitchen.
Go ahead and roll intimidation for me.
That's beautiful. Yes, beautiful.
Got her.
Big hitter.
16.
That, like, barking and getting into her space in that way kind of thing where you're like, do this now. She's just like,
Okay.
leave for a moment, and I will have somebody put the body out in the back. So that way it looks like you came in empty, or you came in with something and left empty-handed.
That seems like a decent plan.
And I will say that it was some helmed knight or something, or some mercenary looking for a reward. And I will let them know that they have gone to the north west. Where you're going is north directly.
I am not trying to tell you to lie for us. I don't
This
want you to betray your ways.
it will be fine. Yuzgalan is right. This is dangerous. But I have a duty. I can't not do this. This is
Yes.
so.
The only reason I am here is because of duty. I would have much rather piled rocks upon the face of this
And
prince.
Yuzgalan was like, "Oh, okay." Like, kind of puts her hands on your shoulders and goes, "Thank you." And the high priestess kind of waves meekly and then turns towards the body.
I'll
Just
turn on my
shaking her
heel
head.
and not necessarily stop out, but I'll walk
Sure.
out quickly.
All right. Yeah. And then you guys both leave, and Yuzgalan does head up to the front and kneel down in some form of prayer to the main entryways. I guess the main church's Brintwell statue, and does a small prayer there, and then leaves quietly.
Do I see more statues of the saints in the general church?
Nope.
I'll follow her out.
All right. So after that bit, it'd still be a little bit until Jayrmi gets back, but then you guys are hanging out outside near the cart or something.
Yeah.
Encouraging his etching skills.
There you go. So you guys get done carving that thing out. Actually, at that time we'll have Jayrmi kind of coming over, so you guys aren't quite at the
I have
church
wood
yet.
carving tools. These might help.
He's like just got done with the dagger.
You know what? I think this looks pretty good.
You did a great
Step
job.
back.
Okay, I'm back.
That's just good.
That took me way too long.
Are you
It's
okay?
all the head.
Did you get another arrow in you?
Oh, feels like it, but I'm okay. Just I got it done though. We have
all
we
right.
have a note of money.
Let me see.
Okay.
Is it a
and
note like
takes
the
out
one
her
that you left
backpack and like
me?
shows it, and it's a note for 13,500.
Right.
Okay.
When you pull it up there's an iridescence into it. You're like, oh yeah, that's legit.
Then Jayrmi would be like,
It's one of those things that forgers have a real hard time
Give my
reproducing.
money.
well, it's all in one note. I mean, I'll keep it for now. I trust
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Okay. And puts it
Got
back
my
in her
eyes on
pocket.
You did notice that it said 13,500 and not 15,000.
You know, Rival's not gonna be happy that you sold it for less. He
Oh,
said five.
I'm pretty sure it was more than the offer you were going to get, so who's complaining?
I could have got 5.
I could have gotten 5.
Then why didn't you?
You come out and you guys are yelling
Negotiations,
at each
proper.
I'm
other.
just
There
like,
are still a
That's
few
definitely not
buildings
proper
down,
negotiations.
but they're clearly
Oh, I'm
like,
sorry, it's not stealing. There's a little bit of.
As we're leaving the
Other
church,
Who
things
said we were
involved.
stealing anything? I haven't stolen anything yet.
Oh, okay. Just like, yes, all right. I'm sorry, Shkaba. I'm just a little out of breath and thought you would be happy, not upset with Jayrmi.
I'm just like this. What? It's a note, like the one you left
He's
me,
gone,
right?
like, go
Why
gather
are
the
you
others. I'm
arguing
going to
over it? You
grab
could just write another note.
I have some questions
this
for
is
you
very
when we have
special.
time.
Oh, well, my note's
I'll walk
special
up to them.
too. Thank you.
Glad you like it.
Is everything okay?
Yes, we have at least this, and she'll put it back out of her pocket and hand it over to Ribos. A lot more confidently than she handed it over to Shkaba. Just very much like,
I'll grab it without reading it at first.
Like, what do you need to give me a note for? I'm not going anywhere.
oh no, it's our note for the purchase agreement.
It's the money.
I
This isn't
couldn't
money.
carry all of.
You've
It's the
heard
same
of this.
as money.
It's typically your people don't have this kind of thing necessarily. You have seen it though in some of the travels that you've been on, but it's usually for nobles and churches and you know what I mean, like.
Things I don't take much stock in.
But anyway, Jayrmi's small, can't carry that much, so this is equal and weighs less. And she'll be like,
How can you trust this?
is the way it works. And like puts it back in her pocket, like very like she just like she did the best thing ever. So she's
Thank you.
oh yes, my pleasure.
I-
The speaker, I do good speaking.
I don't understand, but I will trust you.
Thank you. Well, how did your conversation go?
Not exactly how I thought it would, but well enough. The
It's done?
potatoes are taken care of. We will pick up a new sack on our way out, in a couple hours or so.
Okay. So now that
Why?
we have a moment,
Because the ones we had were getting rotten. These ones will be fresh. Or at least preserved.
We're getting another dead body.
Yeah, well,
okay. Potato
we
Scaba.
have to take the
Nobody around.
potatoes.
And she like looks around again, like again.
We have to take the potatoes further north
Híjole.
to the Indian town so that they can roast them.
Okay. You know
Yes.
what? After that, no more questions.
All right. So I guess how long
Roasted
is
people,
it take?
yes.
Did High Priestess say?
You see Isgalan coming around leading a horse that has a cart-ish thing attached to the back of it with a very long wooden box of some sort behind it.
Oh,
He comes walking up with it.
So it's a potato cart.
This is not potatoes. And then as she kind of walks it over, it very clearly is a coffin. On the
Yeah.
back.
This
Right.
is not inconspicuous.
This is apparently a traditional way to travel with a corpse.
But she is going to tell the Lord. It's going to be quite obvious.
wait, what? Who's
She's
telling
kinda
you
like,
what?
This is what I was handed. So, the official story is that we are traveling to the south to drop this person off at one of the churches there.
We have to go north.
I think
Yes.
that's the point, Rivals.
We're going
Just
to
going-
travel
just
south,
Say we got lost.
and then we're traveling north.
But is it
They'll
not going
look
to
the
be
other
obvious
way
that
while
we're
we
going
go
north?
on our way.
And if we go south first out of the gate and then turn around somewhere and go north?
Why don't we just send a random cart the other way so they
Because-
think it's that one?
Some people know my face.
That seemed like a good idea. Okay.
Do you want to have me go as a distraction?
No,
then
dirt
you
on
take-
your face and they won't even
And she
know the
sits
difference.
back for a second and thinks about it and goes, it would keep people away.
Yes, yes.
And I can outrun his men.
And it's not like you have to stay with the cart for very long.
And she gives it almost like an impressed look to Shkaba, who's already been kind of like getting on her good side. He goes, it's a very good idea.
Judge, you know, I think I have some of those sometimes, you know.
Very well.
I think you have lots of good ideas.
We'll
Thank you.
switch this and yes, I'll meet you at the land with her.
We're
And
going
she
to
kind
need
of
another cart.
I
grunts
think
and
that's what she's
moves.
going to go do.
Oh.
I hope.
So you guys would be able to take it the same way that you have been, with Shkaba flying two horses, one the body on the one horse, and then you hang out with him. So you guys have enough of a transportation method to do what you need to do, and Yizgalan will act as bait.
All right.
And then
You'll switcheroo.
she'll a little bit a while later, while you guys gather everything and all that, and she switches things out in a discreet manner. Goes, I will meet you in 5 days. That should give me enough time. If I am not, you all travel 5 days to the north, and then I will meet you in that area. Wait at least 1 day. If I am not there in 1 day, assume I am dead, and move on to the city to accomplish what we need to accomplish.
What city are we headed to now?
You're going to your people's homeland, your grandmother,
That's what I thought.
to the Firekeepers. It's a very safe road, and there should be no wars there. So, good luck.
5 days, the body's gonna smell really bad by then.
Oh, it is preserved. We have,
Oh.
you have 10 days.
Oh, you did the thing. Good job.
It should, and as of right now, she's basically handed you guys the corpse, and it doesn't smell at all. It's it's preserved.
Is it
Uh,
like wrapped in,
yes,
in new?
It's in a new bag, but she also kind of shows it, and it is wrapped in linens all over. And it smells pleasant. Doesn't smell terrible.
All right.
But,
We
yeah.
can work with this. A good plan. I do like it. Next step.
So 5 days. And then wait 1 day. And if I'm not there, move on.
6
Understood.
days.
Okay. And actually, that's where we're going to wrap it up.
Yay!
Beautiful.
Wow.
Fun game.
Woo! New steps.
very good,
New
very
new
good.
chapter.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Lots of new strings pulling together.
Yay!
Yep. All right. Well, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.